Check it out.
It looks like an unmanned fire hose.
Yeah, I think he got the memo.
He's been beaten up by Meg, boned against his will by a ladyboy girl. Today we're here to check out a video called The Worst Things That Have Happened to Peter Griffin.
These are the worst things to happen to Peter Griffin. Starting with the time Peter fell deathly ill, so Lois ended up replacing him in his friend group. So Peter wakes up one morning a bit under the weather.
Lois, I ain't feeling good.
He may not be feeling too hot, but Lois thinks he sounds hot.
You don't sound like yourself. In fact, you sound kinda hot.
Yeah, maybe you can just ignore the crusted snot and sagging eye bags. But that illness won't get in the way of Lois taking advantage of his new sexy voice.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
I don't know about you, but when I'm sick, the last thing I want to do is anything physically strenuous. Well, I guess doing it with Peter probably doesn't take a ton of effort.
It was the first time I had an orgasm out the front and back.
Okay, cleaning the sheets might not be enough. Throw out the whole bed.
Good morning, Lois. How's it going, Brian?
Peter, what happened to your voice?
A little thing called getting better, I would assume. But now the factory-setting Boston accent doesn't really do it for Lois. She is a fickle minx, isn't she?
Well, you know what I gotta do? I gotta make myself sick again and get that voice back.
That could work as long as he doesn't overdo it. I'm wasting my breath, aren't I?
Do I sound sexy? Tell me I sound sexy!
Oh yeah, you're...
Sounds sweaty.
You're that, alright. So Peter becomes bedridden, but he's got something more important on his mind. Yes, even more important than getting it on with his wife.
I got the bowling tournament this afternoon. Quagmire and Joe are counting on me.
Both Peter incapacitated, it looks like Lois will have to become the big Lois-bowski. You like that? It took me 45 minutes to come up with that.
But I hope you brought it today, because this ain't no ladies' lunch.
Well, I'll certainly do the best I can.
Oh, she brings it all right. Brings it all the way, brought it to... She wins the tournament.
Yeah, we did it!
Lois continues to impress the guys by going drink for drink with them, earning her a spot as one of the boys.
Just one of the boys, mate.
But when Peter's healthy again, he realizes he may have been replaced.
We only have 3 tickets, and we're going with Lois.
With Lois?
Outmanned by your own wife, huh, Peter? It's not that big a deal. I'd personally end it all if that happened to me.
Not if it means losing the best friend I've ever had.
Quags and Swanee aren't going to be happy, but Lois knows how to back out of plans.
I'm planning on having my period really hard later, and I want to be in the tub when it happens.
You what?
Gross. Ew, we forgot she was a woman. So Lois does a very nice thing for Peter, but really, he should remember that she could take his spot at a moment's notice. After all, she's proven she can be one of the boys.
Just one of the boys, mate.
But Peter ended up not remembering how to be human when he got stranded in the wilderness for 2 months and became a wild man. So the guys saddle up for a private plane trip to Canada where they'll see all the sights and... I'm just kidding, they're going to strip clubs.
Oh my god, Joe, there's a man on the wing!
Peter, there's no man on the wing.
There is, I saw him!
It's probably just Tom Cruise doing his daily death-defying stunt. Oh, that little rascal.
It's me. I'm the man on the wing.
Peter, how the hell did you get out there?
Who would have thought a little fresh air could bring a whole plane down?
Hang on, you guys. I don't know if I can pull out of this. Giggity.
Fresh air.
Even when faced with certain death, Quagmire still has getting laid on the brain. Now that's commitment to the bit.
I don't know if I can pull out of this one. Giggity. Bruh.
Plane ends up crashing in the middle of the woods.
This is not good. No one knows we're out here, and we got no food or water.
Yeah, but you're in nature, the world's grocery store. You got everything you need out here.
Okay, these are a maybe.
Maybe it's time to give hunting a try, so Peter sets up some traps.
I was about to take a leak. Can I go in that direction?
Yes.
Ah!
No.
Well, looks like they'll have to eat Quagmire. Sorry, Glenn, them's the rules of the hole. But it's been a couple days now, and with Peter being the only one with working legs, he sets off to try to find help.
Morning.
What the hell? Where'd you come from?
Oh, that guy lives like a few hundred feet from them. He must just be used to planes crashing in his backyard all the time.
We have to grab our friend Peter. He just headed out that way to get help.
Oh, that's not good. There's nothing in that direction.
So 2 months pass with no sign of Peter. Knowing him, I think it's safe to say he died within 5 minutes of leaving camp.
Wait! We may have a possible lead on Peter Griffin.
Turns out the Rangers found a familiar-looking red-headed doll made of sticks out in the woods. It looks like you can take the Peter out of the toy factory, but you can't take the toy factory out of the Peter. So they return to where the doll was found, and they actually do find Peter looking a bit worse for wear.
Oh, thank God! We found you! Are you okay?
Looks like all that time in the wilderness regressed Peter to a wild man. But at least he got a sick beard out of it. I'd say it's a fair transaction.
How could Dad turn into some kind of feral creature just from 2 months in the wilderness?
To be fair, he also seems like a guy that would go full caveman if the internet went out for an hour. Thankfully, Peter recorded some videos for just such an occasion. Doomsday preppers wish they had this level of validation.
If you're listening to this, you've probably become feral. And you're probably thinking of a nice juicy rabbit right now.
I wasn't before, but yeah, I think I could go for some rabbit right now.
Don't listen to that Peter! That Peter is a liar! Run! Be free! They will enslave you!
Oh, so this was kind of his plan all along. Maybe he was born to be a man-beast. So when they're unable to domesticate him, Brian thinks it's time to make the hard choice.
I think you've done all you can. Hard as it is to admit, it might be time to let Peter be where he belongs.
I mean, it only took 2 months to turn him wild and you're giving up after like a week? You're kinda sounding like a family who returns a dog they adopted after realizing it's too much work. So they take him to the forest to say their goodbyes.
We're all gonna miss you, Dad! More than you know!
But Meg's voice catches Peter's attention, making him strain to communicate. You really don't need to be a Family Guy expert to guess what he's trying to say.
Shut up, Meg! Shut up, Meg!
Well, I guess in a way his family did save him, and all it took was remembering his dislike for his own daughter. That's the power of love right there. But hate is sometimes more powerful than love, and James Woods hated Peter enough to steal his identity and his life. So things start off with Peter realizing he lost his wallet. Not the most exciting start, but it picks up, trust me.
Oh my God, Peter, your Visa bill is $16,000. Somebody's been using your credit card.
Honestly, that doesn't seem that far out from what I thought he spends weekly.
He eats at House of Chung every day.
House of Chung, eh? Come on, let's go, Brian.
But now that they're there, how can they possibly find out who the thief is?
Smell my ass.
What?
Smell my ass. It's where I keep my wallet. Get the scent and then find the guy that smells like me.
That's just stupid enough to work.
Your wallet's over there.
And who's the thief? None other than James Woods.
You humiliated me. You put me through hell. And now you're gonna pay for it.
For those that might have forgotten, Peter trapped Woods in a box the last time they met. Seems like he's due for some revenge, but don't forget that Woods is also insane.
You'll never guess who it was.
James Woods?
Hello, stranger.
Look at him sitting there like he owns the place. But I guess technically in the eyes of the law, he does.
Driver's license, social security card, passport, title to the house.
Peter had all of that in his wallet? Okay, suddenly I'm feeling a little less bad for him. But shouldn't Peter's picture be on his ID and passport? Unless James managed to change those already. I'm thinking too hard about cartoon logic, aren't I?
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, sir.
So James starts to play house, and for some reason, the family just kinda puts up with it?
You won't get away with this, Woods.
You know, you're not supposed to be in the house, Brian. You're more of an outdoor dog.
How humiliating! This dog went to Brown, damn it! Well, for like 2 weeks, but still! Desperate to see his family, Peter attends family dinner in disguise. James will never suspect a thing.
I brought a friend home for dinner. Mom, Dad, this is Scooter.
Dang, Chris, your obviously teen friend is an absolute unit. Hope he's trying out for football.
You know, Scooter, we don't allow hats at the dinner table.
Unless you're Chris or Meg, apparently. But of course it was all a trick.
I should have known. Get out of my house right now, son of a...
But if James is gonna be Peter, that means there's a spot open for him to be James Woods.
You can do to him what he did to you. You can ruin him.
Judging by what I know about the real James Woods, I'm not sure he has that sacred of a reputation to ruin to begin with. Regardless, Peter, or should I say James Woods, goes on national TV to throw the actor's credibility right into the crapper.
Well, Dave, I have a hilarious new movie coming out on HBO next month. It's all about 9/11.
And with those two simple numbers, Woods' career seems to be up in flames.
And the voice of the plane is David Spade.
What? I would never work with David Spade.
Oh, I guess now he's actually crossed the line. With the whole world hating James Woods, the disgraced actor is ready to throw hands.
You're in a lot of trouble, Griffin, you motherfucker!
There's only one way to settle this like men, a fist fight in a dark alley just like the Founding Fathers did.
All right, Peter, I'm here. Where are ya?
Ooh, piece of candy.
Oh yeah, James Woods is kind of like a squirrel, he can't resist a little sweet treat.
Okay, Brian, next time let's remember this right away because he's done this twice.
It's true, this is exactly how they got rid of him last time. And so the evil that is James Woods is sealed away for now. Who knew it would be that easy to steal someone's identity? That sounds like a fun little weekend activity if I ever get bored. Anyone got a social security number they want to donate? But what isn't fun is losing your eyesight, which is exactly what happens to Peter during a world record attempt gone wrong. So Peter is feeling a little inadequate next to his accomplished friends.
Quagmire got a key to the city. Mort bowled a perfect game. You're always getting medals for catching crooks.
But being admired is easy. Just do something great for the community that will always be remembered.
I've invented a new type of flying machine.
I guess that could work too. After all, people are always saying that modern airplanes would be better if they were built like garbage.
All right, Stewie, let her rip.
Okay, let's try plan B, spreading pollution awareness with a fun new mascot.
Pick up your trash! I want to know whose cup this is!
I'd say that's a win. Look, if a cougar kicks my door down and points a gun at me, I'm doing everything it says.
Who am I kidding? Yeah. I'm never gonna be remembered for anything.
Maybe being remembered for something good was the wrong way to go. You know what's just as effective? Being remembered for something stupid.
The man who held the Guinness World Record for most drugs ever done by a single human being died today.
But what kind of stupid, pointless record does Peter possess the ability to break?
I am gonna eat more nickels than anyone has ever eaten before.
Yeah, there might be a reason why no one holds that kind of record. So with a belly...
I know a guy that beat the world record for eating roaches. He did not make it. Look him up.
Full of coins, Peter looks to set his world record. What's the current record? How many has he eaten already? I don't think he knows. I just think he wants to eat coins. But this decision quickly comes to bite him in his now jingly butt.
Oh my God, Lois! I can't see!
So yeah, you can apparently contract nickel poisoning from eating too much nickel. Next you'll be telling me food poisoning comes from food.
Oh my God, Lois, I'm blind as a bat! I can't see a damn thing!
Bats actually aren't naturally blind, but maybe now isn't the time to give Peter a zoology lesson.
Now the only thing anybody's gonna remember me for after I die is being that blind guy.
Yeah, but when you have people like Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, just being blind isn't enough to be remembered for.
I guess I can give it a shot.
So Peter gives the blind thing a try, and if you think it's bad for him, it may be even worse for the rest of his family.
Hey, you still awake, Lois, honey?
Dad?
Now I feel like I need my vision taken away after that. To help him along, Peter decides to get himself a seeing eye dog. I guess he could have asked Brian, but having an alcoholic dog guide you probably isn't the best life choice.
Peter, this is something you're still adjusting to. You can't expect to get used to it overnight.
Whatever you say, Brian. I'm going to the clam.
Dang, he's still really upset about... Lois, did you die and get resurrected?
You know, since Peter went blind, it's actually been kind of nice not to have to worry about my appearance.
Totally your choice, and I hate to be that guy, but you know the rest of the world has working eyes, right? But down at the clam, a little act of God is occurring, and not a good one.
Jesus Christ! What? Get the Escalade, we're out of here.
So the bar bursts into flames, and despite the best wishes of his guide dog, Peter has just gotta get that drink.
And I'll just tie you to this parking meter.
I'm sure he'll be fine. He's with a guide dog after all.
Oh boy.
Hey, somebody smoking in here?
Well, Horace is about to be smoked right off the bone.
Peter! Grab my hand!
Jeez, Horace, you been drinking?
Grab it and pull!
Luckily, Peter puts his fears of being seen as gay aside to help pull Horace out of the burning building, inadvertently making himself a hero.
Tell us, sir, how did you summon the courage to save your friend from that burning building?
That freaking place was on fire?
And with that, Peter finally finds his purpose, and that homeless guy even donates him his eyes. How thoughtful! What started out as a negative quickly became a positive for Peter, even if he did inadvertently kill that guy with his dog. But there was no positive side to Peter losing his job, which caused him to be unable to perform in the bedroom. So Peter's moving up in the world when he gets a promotion at work.
You're being promoted to forklift operator.
Really? That's awesome!
You sure that's a good idea? I feel like Peter and heavy machinery are like oil and water. They taste terrible together. Oh, and they don't mix. But Peter actually becomes a forklift pro, forking and lifting everything in sight.
You're not gonna believe this.
Peter, we've been over this. You're not allowed to say that unless there's a forklift outside.
Oh ho ho, you big stupid idiot.
Wow!
I know, awesome, right?
Oh my God, I want to get on!
Isn't it beautiful how men are reduced to little kids at the sight of some form of big vehicle? We are truly simple creatures. But Peter lets this forklift power get to his head, convincing himself he can use it to chug a vat of beer.
Are you nuts? No way you can chug that.
No, I could totally do it. I've only had like 4 beers this morning.
4 this morning? Oh man, I better catch up.
He's doing it! It's killing him, but he's doing it!
Well, he might just survive, but his job security certainly won't.
Griffin, you're fired!
3 weeks pass and Peter hasn't found a new job, so Lois makes an offer.
Maybe I should look for a job.
Lois, I'll be damned if I will let my wife be a prostitute.
Okay, but you're leaving some pretty good money on the table.
Yeah.
So Lois decides to look at her happy place, her sanctuary, her heaven on earth, the grocery store.
Where did you go to college?
Groceries.
Are you available to work weekends?
Groceries.
She knows her stuff, but what about a hardball question?
Groceries?
I'm hired.
Welcome aboard.
And just like that, she becomes queen of the groceries, or assistant manager, or whatever it's called.
If I'm gonna be out of the house working, you're gonna have to take over for me in the house.
Wait, what? I gotta do what you do?
Well, if Lois is going to be the breadwinner, then somebody needs to be the housewife. I know Stewie's dying to fill that role, but he'll get there one day. But the role swap seems to go well, and Lois would like to reward Peter for his hard work.
Where's my big, strong man?
Putting on one of your dress shirts to look sexy?
Does he look good? No. Does he look incredible? Yes. But while the lights go down, some things have a hard time going up.
Peter, get up! Get up! There's a caterpillar in the bed!
Oh, that's me.
It looks like Peter's shortcomings have quietly made their way through the house.
You can't get a boner! You're a failure as a man and a father!
And now it's loudly made its way through the house. Lois suggests looking into treatments, but Peter's embarrassed.
This shouldn't embarrass you. The size should embarrass you.
Hey Lois, did you forget you're supposed to like Peter? Peter tries to keep his mind off it at the bar, but he's not too good at that.
I know a dude who actually had a female say that to him, man. Started crying to me when he told me. Terrifying stuff.
Know how earlier tonight we all said we had erections? I lied.
So did I.
See, you're not alone in this fight, Peter. Of course, Joe's crotch isn't expected to work, so you are a bit more disappointing.
Peter, I am gonna help you beat impotence. We can do this together.
Like, do it together? I'm not sure if that's gonna work, but hey, you're the expert. Really, Quagmire means he's gonna puppet Peter's parts. I guess you could call him a PPTer. You could if that was funny, but if not, just forget I said anything.
Check it out.
It looks like an unmanned fire hose.
What?
Gotta say, Quagmire's got some marionette moves. Wait, don't give him to Joe.
Let me try.
What the?
Tired.
So that didn't work, but Quagmire thinks he's found the root of the problem.
I mean, you've been completely emasculated because you're no longer the breadwinner.
So they go to Angela to beg for his job back. But there's no way she could justify hiring him again after that.
What type of nasty shit? I don't trust it. I just don't trust it.
That forklift fiasco, right?
I'm gonna cash in this coupon you gave me last Valentine's Day. One redo for being fired for gross negligence.
Good luck having a coupon stand in court, but yay, Peter got his job back, which means he should have his groove back, right?
Something else is working now, too.
Oh my.
And so they consummate Peter's return to form right there in the grocery store. We're gonna need some steel wool and a lot of bleach on aisle 6. But Peter's lost more than just his love drive. He once lost feeling in one entire side of his body after suffering from a stroke. While Cleveland's out of town, Peter's tasked with picking up his mail and becomes inspired when he looks through a magazine about mustaches. There really used to be a magazine for everything, wasn't there?
Look at these men. What class, what grace. And all because of a little upper lip hair.
And it looks like it's just about new hyperfixation o'clock.
Oh my god, Dad. What's on your face?
Mustache.
He must have some good genes to grow that whole thing in a day. He even skipped the part where it's growing in and it makes you look like you're not allowed 100 feet near a school.
I think it's gay.
It's not gay, Brian. If I'm gay, then Freddie Mercury was gay.
Peter's lack of music knowledge aside, I think Brian's just jealous. Covered in hair, yet doesn't have a cool mustache. Somebody's bitter. But Peter accepts his new life by donning the official mustache dad uniform.
I watched the sunrise in my jeans, jean shirt, and jean jacket.
When I said he had good genes earlier, I meant the other kind of genes, but you know what? He's killing that fit. So I grew a mustache too, so what? But the mustache doesn't give him as much power as you may think.
Peter, you can't speak Italian just because you have a mustache.
Sorry, I don't speak Italian.
But it does make people believe you can be a hero.
We need someone to man the other hose!
Hey, that guy has a mustache. Grab him.
Is that all it takes to be a firefighter? Wow, mustaches are like resumes you wear on your face. But when Peter hears someone inside, he's willing to put his body on the line to save them.
My mustache! No!
Now that's a real hero, giving up his life to save another. Okay, he gave up his life as a mustache man, but that may just be a fate worse than death. But his sacrifice was not in vain.
I own the restaurant, and to show my gratitude, I'd like to offer you a lifetime supply of McBurger Town burgers.
If that were me, it'd be burgers for every single meal. You'd save a bunch of money on groceries, but you might have to put that money towards an eventual bypass surgery instead.
Peter, you should really slow down. You've already had like 30 hamburgers.
I'm more interested in what's going on with that woman's eyes back there. She looks like she's had a stroke.
Oh my god, someone call an ambulance!
Apparently, McBurger Town is a subsection of Stroke City.
Peter, sweetheart, how do you feel?
Had better days, Lois. Had better days.
So Peter's left side is completely paralyzed, but that isn't going to stop him from enjoying the simple pleasures like going for a drive. I'm not even positive if the stroke made him a bad driver. I think he's just always this irresponsible.
Stroke! Stroke!
Stop mocking me!
So Peter has to Frankenstein around on foot, cursing McBurger Town's food.
This is all your fault, McBurger Town. You and your delicious hamburgers.
Yeah, eating 30 of them in an hour probably had nothing to do with it. But his prayers are answered when he spots a stem cell lab across the street.
How long was I in there?
About 5 minutes.
Why are we not funding this?
Because we can't have nice things, Peter. Really though, Peter's very lucky to have received the once-in-a-lifetime treatment. Will he use this blessing to change the world for the better? What do you think? But change isn't always good, as when the Griffins changed out their stairs, Peter couldn't stop falling down and hurting himself every time he tried to use them. So we start with Stewie doing a little Tai Chi. But despite all that exercise, he's no match for a little wood.
Ah! What is it?
I got a splinter!
Sheesh, what are you, some kind of baby? Lois expresses how dangerous these old stairs are and that they need replacing.
Not just the stairs. Meg has spent 2 days pinned under a roof beam.
Let's just keep our minds on the important stuff for now, okay, Brian? But it looks like no one filled Peter in on the changes. First time using stairs, Peter?
What the hell happened to the stairs? They're all slippery now.
I had them replaced, remember?
No one else seems to have a problem with them, so let's give Peter the benefit of the doubt and just say he stepped wrong.
Was one of the dwarves named Snappy? Kind of well-dressed, or am I just making that up?
First of all, no, there's no dwarf named Snappy. Secondly, the handrails are on the stairs for a reason. Might want to consider using them.
Dad, are you okay? Damn it, I hate these new stairs!
Easy does it, Peter. Sand those shoes, no erratic movements, just 1 foot at a time, engage your core. Someone didn't engage their core.
Oh my god, Peter, are you okay?
No, I am not okay! Nothing about this is okay!
Might be time to consider putting in an elevator. Ooh, or a slide. In the meantime, it looks like Peter's gonna need some extra protection.
Hey guys, I'm just gonna take this. Thank you.
I'd hate to burst his bubble, but I don't think pillows are good enough to prevent another concussion.
That's real.
Screw it. If Peter can't make it downstairs, he'll just bring the downstairs to him.
Oh, hi Lois. I live upstairs now.
That microwave in the bed is either ingenious or the worst fire hazard I've ever seen. I'll try it out at home and get back to you on that. But after all that fuss, Lois just decides to reinstall the old stairs.
Yay! I love my old stairs!
Well, I guess splinters are a small price to pay when you live with an idiot who can't figure out how to safely use new stairs. Unrelated, I tried the microwave in bed thing. Don't do it. And don't disrespect the sanctity of a dog's rear end. Peter did and got a vicious bite from Brian and lost his status as the alpha of the family. So the Griffins are watching TV and, Brian? You feeling all right, my guy?
Yeah, I'm fine. It just seems kind of...
It's always gotta be on the carpet, doesn't it? Here's a tip. Water and vinegar. Does wonders for dog puke.
Brian, your blood work shows that your liver isn't functioning properly. Would you happen to be a drinker?
Does a bear crap in the woods? Both of these are also an absolute mess to witness.
These pills will clear up Brian's condition, but unfortunately, they only come in suppository form.
Oh boy, hope you're into really washing those hands, Peter. Something tells me Brian won't be too keen on that.
Can we do what we normally do, where you roll it up in a piece of cheese like you're fooling me?
Yeah, I guess, but then you're gonna have cheese in your ass.
Yeah, Brian isn't letting Peter anywhere near his butt. Which is interesting, considering he lets other dogs bury their noses up in there.
Guess I'm just gonna have to take him by surprise.
The key is to be unassuming, passive, and above all, subtle.
Get over here, you idiot! Peter, what the hell? I'm still in charge of you! Stop it! I'm a human! Get away!
And Peter's about as subtle as a monster truck rally at a rock concert.
Ah!
And just like that, the hierarchy of the house has changed.
Get out of that chair. Leave the eggs.
But this is my breakfast.
So I guess whoever does the biting is the one who makes the rules now, but Lois thinks that dog needs to be leashed.
First thing tomorrow, I'm taking Brian to obedience school so we can get him back under control.
With the drill sergeant looking like Major Payne, surely Brian can be brought under control.
Now down, on all fours like the rest of them. That's right, we got ways to break your spirit.
Well, a little yelling never hurt anyone. That, on the other hand, may leave scars so deep that no amount of therapy will be able to heal them. Should've just taken the butt pills, Brian. And so, Brian returns home ready to be the bestest boy he can be.
Sir, if it takes the rest of my life, I will repay you.
I thought I'd be happy to see Brian do some groveling, but this kinda gives me the ick. I think I might respect him even less now. So now Brian's practically Peter's servant, being his DD and helping him stumble into the house.
You know what we should do? Let's you and me go pee in Meg's bed.
Oh, but that's bad dog behavior. And Brian's a good dog. Too good a dog, if you ask Peter.
What the hell happened to him? We used to be so close, but now we seem so different.
You sanded all his edges off, Peter. Now he has no edge. He's just a circle. A submissive circle. So in order to save their friendship, Peter decides to say hi to Brian's colon one last time.
Ah, damn it! What the hell, Peter?
Sometimes we forget that if someone touches us there, we're within our rights to beat the absolute tar out of them. Peter realizes this and apologizes for trying to change Brian.
Peter, I want things back the way they were too.
That's what I want.
And so 2 bites later, Peter and Brian are once again friends. And Peter, for the love of God, please go wash that finger. But Peter and Liam Neeson may not ever be friends, especially after Liam made Peter his manservant and then brutally beat him up. So while drinking at the Clam, Peter expresses his distaste for Irish actor Liam Neeson.
Oh, come on, Peter, not this again.
What, he's a fake tough guy. I could totally kick his ass.
I'm sure we all have that one celebrity we think we could beat in a fight. Mine is Meryl Streep. I'm not positive about that, but if she catches me a few beers deep at a bar one night, oh, it's on.
If you were ever face to face with Liam Neeson, you'd crap your pants.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, fine. Let's prove it.
So they make a deal. They'll drive to Connecticut where he's shooting a movie and Peter will pick a fight with him. Now that's some true, unfiltered, unadulterated hater energy right there.
We just gotta get you on that set so you can kick his ass.
We're so close I can almost taste his ass.
Thanks for the insight, Peter. It was definitely needed. Peter tries everything to draw him out, from dressing like Mrs. Potato Head and setting up a confessional booth, but all fail.
Are you the guy who's been looking for Liam Neeson?
I am.
Do you mind if we ask what for?
Yeah, I was hoping to inflict violence upon him.
Peter, you're supposed to admit to the crime after you've committed it. Now we'll never see that sweet Irish on Irish smackdown. But we just might get it as someone posted Peter's bail. But whom?
I did.
It's everything Peter's always wanted, a cage match with Neeson to prove what a fraud the actor is.
May I offer you the most sincere, honest apology? Ow!
Well, you gave it a fair shot. Time to get Neesoned.
Please, I'll do anything. Anything you want. Just don't kill me.
So you deflated faster than a balloon and now you're offering to be this guy's manservant? This is why you don't let alcohol influence your decisions, folks. So Peter does his bidding, from going to jury duty for him to responding to fans on Twitter.
See? Like that.
Don't worry, he's not sexist. He tweeted the same thing to me too. At least all of his requests have been reasonable.
So what I need you to do is to go to a local gym and ask men to pee in your hands.
Okay, slightly less reasonable. Unless that's just a normal Hollywood thing. Who knows what those freaks do over there? But when Peter visits the guys, he claims he's already beaten up Liam Neeson.
How come it wasn't in the papers?
Oh, you know, he's a big star. He had the whole thing covered up.
But seeing is believing, so the guys follow Peter and find Liam Neeson with his butt shockingly unkicked.
I was too scared to fight Liam Neeson.
That's why he's my big fat houseboy now.
But if there's one thing that gets you talking a big game, it's having your boys present, so Peter stands up to Liam.
No, Liam. I'm not doing your stupid chores anymore.
Them's fighting words. Liam gives Peter a backhanded slap and we're off to the races. To call this a fight would be inaccurate. It's much more of a beatdown where Peter thoroughly gets his butt handed to him.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to get a free movie set haircut.
Though Peter is embarrassed, his friends are proud of him for following through with his promise and at least attempted to beat up Neeson. That certainly says something. Not much, considering he got his face caved in, but something was certainly said, I guess. But that's not the only time Peter had his face broken, as he got served several beatdowns from a fresh out of prison Meg. But before that happens, the family learns of the Quahog Rodeo coming to town.
Oh god, this seems like the kind of thing Peter...
Too late, Brian.
Nobody can be too surprised. After all, it's in the TV guide.
In this week's TV guide, it says Peter gets more than he bargained for when he joins the rodeo.
Well, that's pretty meta and handy. Can you believe we used to buy magazines that would tell us what would be on TV that week? This is one of those times where technology was definitely changed for the better. But if Peter wants to survive the rodeo, he best get to roping. Now, if only he could find a cow. I guess Meg's close enough. But don't worry, her revenge will come soon enough. So the day of the rodeo comes, and to say Peter gets more than he bargained for would be an understatement.
I'm a breeding bull.
What's that?
You gonna find out.
You can just use your imagination to figure out where this goes. Just an FYI, it's nowhere good. But that isn't the end of Peter's suffering in this episode. Later on, Brian and Stewie tail Meg all the way to an adult correctional facility, which is a very polite way of saying prison.
One would think they could just say that.
And once inside, they see Meg being a bit more than friendly with one of the inmates.
Oh my god! Meg's dating a convict!
Hey, at least she's getting herself out there.
Women love convicts, yo.
A win's a win. Their love is so strong that the convict Luke sneaks out of prison just to see her.
I escaped because I just couldn't bear another second away from you.
I think he just wants to hit, but sure, let's call it love. And when Peter walks in on them, he doesn't really know what's happening. But the TV guide does.
Peter gets more than he bargains for when he joins the rodeo. Boy, did I. And Meg dates a prison escapee!
Luke tries to flee, but Joe is hot on his heels with wheels. Luckily, Joe has a partner to help, a slightly declining hill. If this was set in Florida, Luke would have been home free.
Well, if you're taking him to jail, you have to take me too.
I know, that's the plan.
I mean, she was harboring an escaped convict, but you understand that, right, Meg?
What?
So 3 months pass and the family's ready to welcome their baby girl home with open arms.
I'm home. You're all my bitches now.
On second thought, those arms might get broken if you get too close.
First question. Who's the biggest, toughest guy in this house?
Well, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I believe I...
Wrong answer. Yeah, I think he got the memo.
My house now, bitch. Now who's the funniest?
For God's sake, Peter, put your hand down. But Peter isn't even safe in the comfort of his shower. Prison rules, man, and you know what they say about soap and showers.
What are you doing with that loofah?
Don't worry about it.
Ah! You told me not to worry about it!
Now she has him and the whole family scared, willing to do anything for her approval.
Punch your baby in the face.
I did good, Meg?
Shut up.
Meg eventually returns to her old ways, but hopefully Peter will always remember what she could do at a moment's notice. You don't just forget getting your teeth grinded into bloody dust. And Peter won't soon forget the dangers of excessive smoking as it leaves his body sickly and terribly damaged. So Peter's noticed his coworker seems to take a smoke break every time there's work to be done.
If I ever want to get out of something, all I gotta do is take a smoke break?
Well, suddenly those little cancer sticks are looking a bit more appealing. So Peter starts smoking to get out of changing Stewie and listening to Meg talk.
Want to hear a story about my day at school? It's about my hot friend Melissa.
Okay.
Sounds enticing.
Then she left, and I realized I was all alone.
Smoke break!
But Peter breaks the cardinal rule of being a smoking husband, letting your wife know about it.
Peter, what are you doing down there?
Nothing.
Well, it doesn't seem like nothing.
At least he's not addicted. He just needs to smoke every hour, on the hour, multiple times an hour, or else he'll die. But he's not addicted.
I'll toss this one out right now. I'm so sorry I threw you out the window!
He does his best to hide his habit. Well, not really. He's tweaking out like a kid who had his iPad taken away.
I meant to tell you, remember my cousin Sylvia's husband, Robert? Well,
does this story have an end?
But hey, at least smoking makes you look cool, right?
What the hell?
Or it makes you look like an empty bag of wine, all wrinkly and translucent.
How did this happen?
It's from smoking.
It's not that bad.
Nah, it's totally normal to look like the skin a lizard leaves behind after it sheds. They try Dr. Hartman, but he even admits addiction.
This guy's jokes is good.
Is too out of his wheelhouse. What kind of doctor are you, anyway?
All right, how many vitamins for you guys to just leave me alone?
40.
Oh, that kind of doctor. So instead they try a stop smoking clinic where Peter actually finds his big break.
I think you'd be perfect for our new anti-smoking campaign.
Me? You'd want me on TV?
See, don't ever let him tell you that smoking can't do any good.
If you're gonna be our spokesman, you have to keep smoking. We need you to stay wrinkled and sickly.
Because why show that you can beat smoking when you can just keep scaring people? That's advertising 101.
This is your heart. This is your heart on cigarettes. Any questions?
Several. Where'd you get that heart? Is it only bad if I smoke enough cigarettes to equal that pile? As long as the cigarettes don't actually touch my heart, am I good? But Peter's time as an anti-smoking celebrity doesn't last forever.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but we no longer need your services.
Wait, what?
At least you got something out of it, mostly newly blackened lungs, and you can't put a price tag on that.
Well, I finally quit smoking and I'm ready to go back to normal.
Yeah, except there's no real cure for the damage smoking does to you. Not even cutting to an outside shot of the house can fix this one. But while smoking nearly killed him, he also nearly died when he fell into a coma, only to awaken to see Lois pulling the plug. So the Griffins are hosting a fancy cocktail party where they can discuss classy, sophisticated things.
Well, since this is a nice cocktail party, let's talk about books.
Luckily, Sophisticated is Peter's middle name, and his real first name is not.
I ain't ever read a book in my entire life.
Oh, gracious me, why I never! This party actually sucks now, so everyone leave.
I got a junior high book list here, and starting tomorrow, you are reading one of these books.
So Peter settles on 1984, a classic book that everyone brings up whenever a mild change in their life happens. Netflix has commercials now! We're living in 1984! So Peter visits the library and gets the book on CD. Only it's not a book, it's a rock album. Might have to fire that librarian if she gave that to someone who came to a library asking for 1984.
This is books? Books kick ass!
If other books are like this, I just gotta hear them. I bet Jane Austen shreds hard. Too bad the family isn't ready to rock this hard.
If Van Halen calls, tell them they rule.
What?
Lois looks mad, probably because he broke the wall rule. If you're gonna break through a wall, someone needs to say "oh no" a few times first. It's like Bloody Mary, but with the Kool-Aid guy.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh yeah!
So she makes Peter return the CD, but it looks like it's needed for one last ride.
No. Those days are behind me.
But that CD's calling to him like the Green Goblin mask. The chicken will be no match for how hard George Orwell rocks. But Peter takes his eyes off the prize. But if you saw a squirrel carrying a briefcase, wouldn't you?
Working squirrel.
Shake it off, champ, and get back in the race.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Griffin, but your husband is in a coma.
But even though he's in a coma, he can still hear, and the doctor urges his family to talk about good memories with him to keep him going. Okay, you guys, let's not all go at once. But while they're all definitely mourning him, Peter's trapped in a weird prison in his mind.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yeah!
Despite those two references in this section, Kool-Aid is not sponsoring this video. But my door is always open, guys, if you want to talk shop. Peter isn't sure what's going on until a literal boatload of dead characters show up.
What do all these people have in common? And how do they know I like being slowly beckoned?
If I'm at death's door and I see Adam West motioning to me, I at least know I'm headed for the good place.
Mrs. Griffin, I have some bad news. Your husband is brain dead.
Yeah, that was true before the crash. Got anything new?
Are you telling me I should pull the plug?
I'm afraid so.
Well, it's time to board the boat full of fondly remembered and easily forgotten characters, but Peter has one final question.
What's the boat's Wi-Fi password?
Oh, there's no Wi-Fi on board.
I don't want to go!
And that's enough to wake him up to see Lois with plug in hand. Whoopsie. Back at home, Peter presses her about the decision, and she gets a bit too honest.
We're sorry we pulled the plug. But you know what? It was a relief.
What?
Basically, she's saying Peter seems to be on the verge of death all the time, and yeah, she's right. He's constantly getting himself into trouble that could very well kill him, and as a wife, that's draining to have to think about. Luckily, he didn't die, but knowing your existence is a burden to the ones you love is kind of a little death in itself.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment, like, and don't subscribe. Happy Turkey Day. Yeah, I'm saying this was hot off the stove. Far too hot for me to bite into it on camera, lest I want to set the front of my mouth on fire.
Can you even begin to imagine how long the characters in Family Guy would rot in jail if they were charged for their crimes? I'm getting a headache just thinking about it. And after binge watching Family Guy for, I kid you not, 100 hours, which honestly isn't that much considering how much content there is in Family Guy, I have documented a plethora of horrible crimes that'll have Peter Griffin in prison singing about his milkshakes for the rest of his life.
Do it! My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. It's better than yours. Damn right, I can teach you, but I have to.
That is so funny.
I'll be covering his offenses in order of sentence length, starting with stupid misdemeanors and ending with very gruesome and just downright evil acts of terror. Hearing the name Peter Griffin and the word in the same sentence sounds completely bizarre. But believe it or not, he did actually become one in the show. Peter loses his job and sees it as an opportunity to pursue his dream career.
That's a wild career for a youth.
Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
To the owner of a yellow Hyundai, your car is being towed.
What? I won!
How does one get a job as a jouster in the 21st century? But before trying out for jousting, he dabbled in another unusual line of work.
Has Dad found a permanent job yet?
Your father's going through a bit of a career transition, searching for something that fits him just right.
Well, clearly it's not that tube top.
Looking for a good time, sweet cheeks?
Oh my God.
Peter, get in the car.
Okay, but it'll cost you. What do you want, a Cleveland steamer?
I said get in the car.
Whoa, 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 be cool. Yeah, so go to Maple Street and then,
It's bad, but I don't even know what a Cleveland steamer is. Because, you know, I'm from Cleveland, and we have a lot of ice out there, so I'm thinking, oh, is that a way to defrost one's car, or, you know, the Cleveland steamer, but I don't think I want to go into detail.
Get in this car right now!
Oh.
It's eerie, isn't it? Like looking into the future.
You see Peter get nervous when those cops pulled up? That's because he's illegal in Rhode Island. Hooker Peter can be thrown to the slammer for 6 months, and a criminal conviction will make it even harder to find a new job. Stewie has killed millions of innocent people, and karma almost came for him in the form of his awful family in the episode Brian Griffin's House of Pain. Chris sneaks into Meg's bedroom and reads her diary. She catches him, and a fight breaks out with Stewie caught right in the middle.
Well, I'm off to buy imaginary groceries.
Oh, dang. Oh.
Do you think he's okay?
So Stewie can literally fall off the roof or get thrown through a window and be totally fine, but a little tumble down the stairs and he's knocked out cold. Too scared to tell their parents about the accident, Chris and Meg try their best to hide Stewie's injuries.
Oh, look at my little cowboy.
He must be starving. Hey, how's the food, Stewie? Oi, blimey, it's the right delicious hot.
Peter finally recognizes something is up, and Chris and Meg come clean. But Peter never takes Stewie to the hospital. He just tries to blame the accident on Lois.
Oh my God, Stewie!
Looks like you ran over him, Lois.
And Lois is utterly heartbroken for like 2 seconds.
Oh no, he's unconscious. Peter, we have to cover this up.
Yeah, but what?
Find a way to pin this on someone else.
I love you so much right now. Let's go.
You're probably wondering if the little guy is dead. I thought the same. But Stewie does make a reappearance in the end credits of the episode.
Hey, I just found out it's November. What the f*** happened?
Not bothering to take his badly injured and unconscious baby to the hospital is definitely child endangerment, and Peter can be sentenced to 3 years in the Quahog City Jail. And I'm surprised this didn't become a manslaughter segment. I'm telling you, Stewie's football head must be made of steel for him to survive that. Peter Griffin is a super selfish guy, and he once committed charity fraud for the dumbest reason. Peter is watching Gumball 2, Gumball Beats Justice, and becomes upset when he finds out NBC has canceled the show. A few days later, he sees something on the TV that gives him a very shameful idea.
A terminally ill 8-year-old boy got his wish today, thanks to the Grant a Dream Foundation.
Back to pass. Here comes the rush. Oh, he sacks!
Like little Johnny should have wished for some blocking.
I just thought of a way to get the Gumballs back on the air.
Peter takes Chris to the Grant a Dream Foundation and convinces them that his son is dying.
I'm telling you, Chris is dying 10 times worse. Very rare disease called, tumor syphilis.
Oh, sounds sexy.
Take a look. He's growing nipples.
They look like pepperonis.
See, look, they're coming right off.
Well, that's the sickest boy I've ever seen. Get me the president of television.
You know what? I don't think I'll order that pizza after all. The Grant the Dream Foundation agrees to grant Chris his dying wish to see Gumball 2, Gumball Beats Justice back on air. But they also want to film Chris's death for publicity. Pretty soon, a camera crew and a group of mourners turn up at the Griffin household.
Go home, Chris Griffin, you're so brave. A smile on your face and a bounce in your step as they dig your grave. As they dig your grave.
A furious Lois warns Peter that he could go to prison for fraud, and acting out of desperation, the Batman claims Chris has been miraculously cured.
There's only one way out of this. Chris is all better. I cured him. I have divine powers. Okay, safe drive. What do you have to say to that? I'm not going to jail. Best of all, Gumball the Gumball is back on the air.
Amazingly, that just gets him off the hook, but what would have happened if he had been caught? Well, he'd certainly be charged with fraud, and that would mean 3 years in the clink. So now Peter has lost his favorite TV show and his freedom. But let me tell you, knowing what comes next, that's the least of what this jerk deserves. Besides bullying his daughter Meg and watching TV, Peter Griffin's favorite thing to do is drink. But sometimes he has one too many and gets behind the wheel. Peter and Brian go to the movies, but they end up causing the biggest scene in the theater.
Lisa, get away from him. He's a Nazi.
Sit down!
Move!
Stop blocking the screen, you jerk!
Buddy, step away from the young lady. And Zaring, you asked for it.
They are both arrested and forced to attend a 12-step AA program, which they ruin for everyone attending.
Hey, anyone in the house addicted to alcohol?
I enjoy alcohol.
I can't hear you.
Mr. Griffin, alcohol is forbidden at our meetings.
I have never seen a duller bunch of pathetic bastards in my life.
Yeah, you all stopped drinking because you were hurting your loved ones. Can't hurt them if they don't know you're drunk. Let's make this our sanctuary.
I wants me that beer.
I can't tell if what they did was cool or another level of douchebaggery. When the meeting is over, Peter drives home drunk, but he gets instant karma, thankfully. Peter has then a near-death experience where death shows him what kind of person he'll become if he continues with this heavy drinking.
How's it near-death experience if he's already arrived at the death? He's already achieved deathidism. It's the whole thing.
All right, family, line up for cigar burns.
Oh.
Ow!
Does that work?
He already abuses his family anyway, though. Now he just looks slightly more slobbish and dirty. Death gives Peter one more chance after he agrees to drink in moderation from now on. And you think that traumatic accident would teach him a lesson about drunk driving, but nope. After that episode, he drove intoxicated 3 more times.
Okay, Joe, you're drunk. Give me your keys. And I'm drunk, so I'll give you my keys. Now we're both good to drive home. You been drinking tonight, sir?
No, officer.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to step out of the car and walk. All right, you be safe, sir. Nothing better than a 7 a.m. beer and an unbrushed mouth.
Peter, I don't want you drinking too much.
Lois, I know how many beers I can drink. I figured it out.
Good Lord.
7. 6.
Oh.
Peter drove drunk at least 4 times in the show that I found, so his total sentence would be at least 4 years in prison. He'd also get banned from driving for 3 years, but I think the selfish jackass should be banned for life. Peter will not hesitate to help out his buddy Quagmire, especially when there's money in it for him. Quagmire and the rest of the pilots at the Quahog Airport go on strike. To make ends meet, he turns to stripping.
I am in the full, upright, and locked position.
Women really like that too, man. They really with that.
That scene becomes even weirder when you think about the fact that Quagmire's in his 60s, by the way. But stripping isn't enough for Glenn, and he soon finds himself making money as a full-blown... Unfortunately, a lonely old lady tries to dupe him over. Luckily, his pal Peter can force her to pay up.
Hey, you didn't pay my friend.
Stop it!
I can do this all day. I love buttons.
Fine, here's your money.
She's lucky Peter didn't kick the door in and knock her lights out. You know how quickly he can turn violent. Quagmire offers Peter a cut, marking the beginning of Peter's pimp career.
I'm really glad they show him using condoms, yo. For real, for real. Like, that's for real. I appreciate that.
Oh, frick, I think I'm gonna be sick. While the pimp relationship was working great at first, Peter starts taking his role as pimp way too seriously.
Dang, Quagmire, you're lucky. He take care of you.
It's great. I'm making a lot of money. I'm actually very hungry.
You want to eat? Get up to that bar and earn your keep.
What should I ask for, 500?
You're trash. Ask for 2. You know I hit you and whore you out because I love you, right?
Dude's a menace. He needs to be stopped, but a fabulously dressed one. Peter and Quagmire both quit the industry in the end, probably due to the trauma this client gave them both.
Big Pete, help! She wants to do German things!
What? No! He hasn't eaten anything in days! It's not gonna work! 9! 9! Yeah, she's got us both! Help us, HBO camera crew!
is forbidden in Rhode Island, and that means pimping is too. For acting as Quagmire's pimp, Peter can be sentenced to 5 years in jail. I'm sure the other inmates will have a good laugh when they find out what he's in there for.
5 years for pimping? Really?
Peter and Carter hate each other, so it didn't surprise me when he jumped at the chance to rob his father-in-law. The guys are gearing up for a fun day in paintballing, but Joe bails, thinking Bonnie might go into labor anytime soon. Fed up with Joe blowing him off, Peter decides to induce Bonnie's labor by playing the most boring TV show he can think of.
MASH?
2.5 Men. Well, it works, and Bonnie is rushed to the hospital where she gives birth to a beautiful baby girl.
Here's your baby. She's beautiful.
She sure is, Joe.
Probably ain't yours.
It's hard to believe she's already 18.
Get out of here.
You can always count on Quagmire to ruin a special moment. Joe was overjoyed at the birth of Susie, but his happiness quickly turns to worry.
I got her hospital bill this morning. It's $20,000.
Oh my God.
Shouldn't they close the curtains for that? The guys turn to Carter Pewterschmidt and ask him to help Joe, but he's not very charitable.
Joe's getting desperate, and we haven't raised nearly enough. Is there any way you could help us out?
Of course, but it's funnier to me if I don't. In about an hour, I'm gonna piss away 20 grand.
Dang, Carter makes Ebenezer Scrooge seem like a philanthropist. Feeling desperate and angered by the rich jerk, Joe and the guys plan to steal the money themselves. Peter, Quagmire, and Cleveland all sneak into Carter's party wearing bad mustache disguises, and following Joe's instructions, they commit a heist.
I'm in.
Holy crap, there's another door!
I knew Cleveland was so talented. They finally get to the money undetected, but just as they're about to get their criminal hands on the 20 grand, Lois confronts Joe.
But think about your beautiful little girl. You'll miss running after her as she learns to walk. I mean, riding bikes with her as dancing at a wedding. You know what you're doing is wrong, and you know how to make it right.
Guys, put the money back and get out of there.
I guess parking the CCTV van right outside the Griffin's house wasn't a very smart idea, huh? Had that not happened, Peter, Quagmire, Cleveland, and Joe would all be charged with burglary, and a guilty verdict would mean 5 years in prison. But hey, it'll just be like hanging out at the Drunken Clam together, except there's no booze and there are bars on the windows.
Dang, they get 5 years for burglary, huh? Oh.
Being kind of messed up in the head and not giving a damn about what other people think, Peter Griffin gets nude whenever he feels like it. While he walks around his home stark naked probably on the daily, he's also known to strip off in numerous locations, such as parking lots.
This isn't Big Mouth. You're not gonna see it.
The Drunken Clam.
Peter, where are your clothes?
I need your gun.
No problem, evil-looking Peter.
Internet cafes.
Oh, yeah. Chinese Lois.
Job interviews.
Oh, my God.
Hi, we're here for the interview.
Banks.
You have no clothes on.
Must be having one of those dreams again. Better wake myself up. Oh, thank God. Well, time to apply for this small business loan.
His in-laws' home.
Why are you naked in my house?
Why aren't you?
You're all right, Griffin.
And live television sets.
The playoff game between the...
Streaking, unrelated.
Public nudity is a crime in Rhode Island. It's called indecent exposure, and Peter could be sentenced to 1 year in jail each time he was caught in his birthday suit outside home. Although that's 7 years in the big house, I bet he'll only spend like half that time in his orange jumpsuit. We can all agree that Peter can't go 2 hours or so without food, but we probably never expected him to eat a person. I mean, I didn't. Peter, Quagmire, Joe, and Cleveland are enjoying a fishing trip together, but the fun gets spoiled by a hurricane which drags them out to sea and destroys their boat. Luckily, they can build a raft with some extra items Quagmire brought with him on the trip.
It's lucky you packed so many blow-up dolls, Quagmire.
Be careful. The tiniest prick will pop these things.
Quagmire, Cleveland, and Joe survive days on Quagmire doll raft without food, but Peter doesn't even get a single hunger pang.
Hey, what's that?
What?
You bastard! You have food?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Peter!
Yeah, see, now this is why I didn't say anything. I knew you were gonna get like this.
And I bet the fricker started hacking off Joe's legs within 5 minutes of being lost at sea. The guys are eventually presumed dead at sea, and Brian swoops at this opportunity to marry Lois. Months pass, and the guys are still alive on the desert island the raft was washed up on. Believing that they don't have long left to live, Peter suggests that they do something to make their last moments a bit more interesting.
All right, fellas, we've been out here for months, and being that there's no women around, we're gonna have a... Anybody?
No.
No. Yeah, me neither.
While they didn't enjoy the it would ultimately save their lives by attracting the attention of tourists on a passing cruise ship.
Yeah, I'm sure glad nobody's here to see this.
If you look off the left side of the ship, you'll see a bunch of homosexuals.
Everyone gets reunited with their loved ones, and Joe even gets a new set of legs from a former death row inmate who was unfortunately a paraplegic also. But enough about that, let's get back to Peter's grotesque act of cannibalism. Cases of cannibalism are so rare that Rhode Island doesn't even have any laws against it, which is slightly concerning. However, there is a law against mutilation. For cutting off Joe's legs, Peter can be sentenced to 20 years in the slammer, with only 3 meals a day. Everybody better keep an eye on their legs. If you're like me, you also thought Peter was just born a dumbass, but maybe he's actually brain damaged from all the hardcore drugs he's experimented with, like steroids.
Peter, could you please pass the potato?
Damn it, Meg!
Ooh. What the hell are you doing?
Jeez, this sucks worse than that time I did cocaine with Carl Malden.
Crack?
Peter, what are you doing?
Crack? What the Hey, at least I'm not drinking, Brian.
Ecstasy?
We did ecstasy. Kids, don't do it. It's too awesome. If you hate pure, unconditional love, definitely do not try this drug.
I would never
Meth?
try it.
All right, guys, looks like I'm really liking meth.
No.
Hey, guys, I need money. Like now. Like
good.
yesterday. Like now.
Crystal meth?
I am so f***ing ready.
And fentanyl.
You know what gilf means, right? God, I love fentanyl.
You said it, pal.
Jeez, he must know every drug dealer in town. For possessing all those illegal drugs, Peter can be in prison for a total of like 21 years. That's 3 years for each type of drug he took. I guess he really should have listened to his own advice in season 1.
Believe me, Chris, you don't want to mess with drugs. I tried them once. Things got way too real.
While the show is called Family Guy, Peter Griffin couldn't really care less about his family, especially his in-laws. When Peter catches his father-in-law, Carter Pewterschmidt, getting a little too cozy with another woman, he ends up getting some unsavory ideas.
Ah, that was excellent.
Oh my God! Mr. Pewterschmidt, you're having an affair?
This is my sister.
Ew!
No, I'm impotent. I mean, she looked at me while I did it to myself.
Ew!
I mean, she's a man.
We need more E's and W's down here now!
She looked at me while I did it to myself.
Peter stays silent about the affair at first, but after a few drinks at the Drunken Clam, the guys convince him to use the situation to his advantage. He heads to the Pewterschmidts and blackmails Carter, but not for money. Staying true to his character, Peter demands his father-in-law participate in whatever silly activities he says, and that includes a limo joust.
That went exactly as I wanted it to go.
Oh boy.
Traveling to France just to insult the French.
People of France, depressed guy smoking a cigarette is not a movie. And your sirens sound like gay guys having a threesome.
And writing a whole book of new catchphrases for him.
All right, you got my catchphrases for me?
This was a huge pain in the ass.
Shape up or show me your balls. That's good.
Well, how about this one? In your face, Nancy Grace.
Oh, I love it. Fire alarm? I am the fire alarm. If you got a problem, take it up with my butt. He's the only one that gives a crap. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I thought
That's,
you'd like...
yeah.
But before he can blackmail Carter into doing any more ridiculous activities, smooth-brained Peter accidentally blabs about the affair in front of Barbara anyway.
You know, I keep not laughing at the Big Bang Theory. It's got to be the television. TV this size, forget it. It'll have me laugh until I got snats falling out of my nose.
I'm giving it to Peter.
What? Why?
Because Peter is the best, and he is awesome.
He's not just saying that because I covered for him about his affair.
If all of this had gone down in real life, Carter could have reported Peter for blackmail. Sure, he didn't lose any money, but threatening someone for their labor can still be legally classed as blackmail. Blackmail is a serious crime in Rhode Island, and the penalty can be as high as 15 years in prison. Did I mention another crime was committed here? You probably won't guess what it is, because it's a strange law Rhode Island has. Absolutely no dueling. That limo duel Carter and Peter fought could land them both in jail for 7 years. Pretty weird, huh? It's usually Peter dragging his wife Lois into criminal activities, but in the episode Living on a Prayer, it was the other way around. Stewie had finally made a friend at daycare, Scotty, but Scotty gets pulled out after contracting a serious but very treatable disease. It is soon revealed that Scotty has even worse parents than Stewie somehow.
Lois, we came as soon as we got your call.
Oh, I'm so sorry to have to tell you this, but Scotty has
cancer. We know.
You do?
But you shouldn't have brought him to the hospital without talking to us first.
He was unconscious. He clearly needed treatment.
He doesn't receive treatment.
We're Christian Scientists. We don't accept medical care for ourselves.
But your son has cancer.
Lois begs the religious nuts to reconsider and save their child's life, but they won't budge. And so she sees no other option than to kidnap the baby and take him to the hospital herself. However, it's too difficult to carry out the abduction alone, so Lois enlists the help of her super reliable and totally not incompetent husband.
Harry Potter.
All right, I got him, Lois.
That's not Scotty. That's Ben.
Oh, still learning everybody's names.
Damn it. Put him back and go get Scotty.
While I'm doing that, maybe you do something about that snatchy tone.
Peter really is the most pathetic criminal I've ever covered in these videos, man. They eventually get baby Scotty and drive him to the hospital, but the cops are already there waiting to arrest the kidnappers. And in the end, Scotty's parents do get their son the treatment he needs after Lois gives this moving speech.
Ben, Hope, I know you don't believe in modern medicine. You do believe in the power of prayer.
That's right.
People of good faith would pray to God for a cure. Well, then isn't it possible that penicillin, vaccines are all actually answered prayers?
It's good so far, Lois. Try to work a few laughs in there if you can.
But the sweet moment immediately gets ruined by Peter.
Hey, everybody! We're all gonna get laid!
While the real criminals in this episode should have been Scotty's parents for neglecting their child, Peter and Lois are, in fact, guilty of kidnapping, even if it was for good reason. Most kidnappings are punishable by 20 years in jail, but when a minor is involved, the sentence could be life in prison. Yes. And I do feel like Peter could get off easy by pinning it all on Lois. To be fair, it was all her idea. Peter's impulsive nature and lack of morals often result in him taking whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and that includes Joe's ramp.
Peter, I don't need to be in a wheelchair.
I already went through the trouble of borrowing this ramp from Joe. I'll be back in a while.
Oh.
Joe, are you all right?
Joe's pool?
Good morning, Joe.
Peter, what are you doing in my pool?
Oh, this is the newest province of Pretoria. I call it Joe-hio.
What? What has he got against Joe? He's also stolen a bunch of exotic animals.
Hello, everybody. This is Montecore. He's my lion.
Peter, what the hell?
Oh.
Hey, Lois, can you run inside and get me some oranges or whatever it is these things eat?
What is that?
This would be a giraffe. Yeah, I stole it from the zoo.
Okay, the lion and the parrot I get, but how do you sneak a massive giraffe out of a zoo unnoticed? The value of the item stolen does not exceed $1,500. The sentence is 1 year in jail. So Peter's got 24 months for cruelly taking his disabled friend's ramp and that parrot. Joe's pool probably has a value between $1,500 and $5,000. That's an extra 3 years added to Peter's sentence. As for the giraffe and lion, they definitely both exceed 10 grand in value, which means Peter is looking at 25 years in prison altogether. Being friends with Peter Griffin means you can never have anything nice in life. Joe's uncle passes away and he inherits his very expensive 1950s Chrysler. That really is a nice car, though. I can't believe I'm actually jealous of a cartoon character. Peter, Quagmire, and Cleveland show up, and naturally, they want to ride in the cool car.
What's happening right now?
Annoyed that Joe won't take them for a proper spin, the guys sneak over to his house later that day and take the car for themselves.
Hello.
Yes, Joe Swanson? Would you be willing to take a half-hour survey while facing the wall?
And they may have successfully borrowed the car had Cleveland remained in the driver's seat.
Look out! Crap!
Oh man, Joe is gonna be so pissed!
I mean, Peter's not entirely to blame here. Who the hell leaves their garbage cans right in the middle of the frackin' road? Anyway, taking someone's car without permission, i.e. stealing, is the most serious kind of theft. Peter can be jailed for as long as 30 years. But at least Quagmire and Cleveland will be there to keep him company. Okay, we're at our halfway checkpoint now, and Peter's prison sentence is already 165 years and 6 months long. Surely it can't get any worse than that. Well, it sure can. Some of these next crimes are straight up evil, and they'll make you wonder how someone so dim-witted could even get away with them. Peter Griffin rarely tries to better himself, so when he decided to make a fresh start as a farmer, I was intrigued, to say the least. When the Griffins return home one day and find they've been robbed, they decide to move somewhere safer, away from the hustle and bustle of Quahog.
Here we are, everyone, the Griffin family farm.
Just as the family are beginning to adjust to the farm life, a tornado hits. They take shelter in the storm cellar and discover a little secret about the previous owners of the farm.
You guys, there's a fully functional meth lab in our basement.
We have to call the police.
Whoa, hang on, Lois. When you really stop and think about it, this meth lab is our best chance to make meth in a lab.
What are you talking about, Peter?
I'm talking about saving the farm.
While the meth was only supposed to be for the customers, Brian returns home from college to find out his whole family have become meth heads.
Hey everyone, I'm back. What the hell is going on?
Just working on a family project.
I might have the solution to our farming trouble.
That's nice, Brian. Oh, yeah, we're meth dealers now.
So, was killing Meg part of the family project? And what are the dogs for? I have so many questions right now. But Peter's bragging about how much cash he's made gets interrupted by a news report detailing the city's staggering rise in meth usage. Seeing Quahog get destroyed because of their meth is enough to snap Lois back to her senses. She suggested they all return home and go back to their old lives. And Peter and the kids have no choice but to follow her once this happens.
An explosive batch of thermoreactive
That fiery explosion destroyed all evidence of Peter's meth business, so he never got his comeuppance in the show. However, if cops did bust into his meth lab in real life, Peter is really gonna regret not sticking with cattle farming. Meth is classified as a Schedule II drug in Rhode Island, and dealing it could result in a 30-year prison sentence plus a fine of $100,000. But I doubt the fine would bother Peter that much. I mean, his meth business probably brought in at least $1 million. Judging by how much Peter loves Garfield,
God, I can't hear Garfield.
I also went to the video store and got Garfield.
you'd expect him to be a huge animal lover, but that's not the case at all. Just look at how he treats his furry friend Brian.
Peter, I'm home from the market. I got steak sandwiches.
Oh, that's way better than chicken parm.
Or Yogi Bear. And all those other small innocent animals.
Hey there, you must be Huck. Great to finally meet you.
I'm gonna stab you for your blood.
Oh, come on. Shot in the pool in the last one. Ah!
Oh my God! Well, you guys relax. He's got 8 more lives. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Like this.
Stewie might not have inherited his dad's low IQ, but he definitely got his evil personality. Animal cruelty is punishable by 5 years in prison. I showed you 6 cases of this, so that means Peter's gonna be locked away for at least 30 years. And I hope those bars on his window are darn thick. We sure as hell don't want any birds accidentally flying into that cell. Peter always ends up destroying Cleveland's house with his stupid antics.
What the hell? Away we go. No, 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 no.
What? Hey! You're not the same giraffe from last night. Get out of here!
What the hell? No, 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 no!
Cleveland's home insurance must be through the roof, dude. No pun intended. The penalty for criminal property damage in Rhode Island is 5 years in jail and a fine of 3 times the amount of damage caused. Peter destroyed Cleveland's house 9 times throughout the show. That means Mr. Griffin's looking at about 45 years in prison and a fine of, $100,000. Again. Meg knows she's not exactly her dad's favorite kid.
Thanks, didn't want to pay for the hole.
But she probably never would have expected Peter to literally sell her. Peter arrives at Goldman's pharmacy without a wallet, so Mort generously opens up a tab for him. But instead of buying the he came in for, Peter goes on a shopping spree, buying 8 cases of syrup of Ipecac for something very important and urgent he absolutely had to do.
All right, you guys, I got 8 crates of Ipecac from Mort. Now, whoever goes the longest without puking gets the last piece of pie. Okay, Here we go. How's everybody doing?
Good so far.
All right.
Nothing yet.
Cool. That's from the bake sale that Lois was...
One down. I know somebody who won't be having any...
You feel funny.
Well, I feel fine. I guess I'm gonna...
That means I win. I get to eat...
Oh, God.
Oh, my God, my insides are on fire.
You better get ready to vomit again because he owes Mort $34,000. Unable to pay off the debt, Peter makes a very illegal and unethical trade with Mort.
Listen, I got another idea. What if I sold you my daughter?
Huh?
What?
Yep, all you gotta do is sign this contract.
You can't sell me, you fat son of a bitch!
While Meg is initially sold to become Neil's love interest, he soon becomes interested in another girl, and Mort finds another purpose for Meg.
Boy, this was a better acquisition than I thought.
Man, I feel so bad for her, dude. It's episodes like these that really, truly make you appreciate the time Meg got out of prison and beat Peter within an inch of his life. And you're probably wondering how Meg was eventually freed from slavery. No, Peter doesn't realize he made a terrible mistake and immediately go to save his daughter. It was actually Neil who tore up the contract and let Meg go. So basically, if Neil never did that, Meg would have been doomed to live the rest of her life as the Goldman slave. Any person who traffics a minor can be sentenced to 50 years in prison. Peter would also be fined 40 grand. I guess I'll have to sell Chris or Stewie this time around. In the episode Meg Stinks, Meg and Peter had the most wild father-daughter day ever. Peter and Lois find out Meg is a top student, and Peter takes her to an interview at the prestigious school, Green Mountain College. On the way to the school, they stop at a diner, and Peter's treatment of Meg is still the same as it always has been.
Well, I called and confirmed my interview for tomorrow morning.
I ordered you nothing.
What else is new?
But when he finds out that Meg likes the same music as him and knows he's afraid of guacamole, he begins warming up to his daughter just a little. Meg is so ecstatic to finally be bonding with her father that she agrees to gate crash a party instead of attending her very important interview.
Let's go.
Yes!
I gotta take a whiz.
I got a whiz too.
You got a funny little wiener, but you're a nice guy, Meg.
I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't see that. Lois is pissed when they get home, but Meg's just happy that she got to bond with her father. Lois warns that Peter will ruin her future if she continues hanging out with him like that, and she couldn't have been more right.
Meg, you've probably wondered how on earth I pay for all my shenanigans. This is a robbery! If this bitch moves, shoot him in the eye!
I don't want to do this!
You have to! We're buying a zebra!
Dad!
There's no time to argue. Who's the manager here?
I am.
What are you doing?
You said if he moves, shoot him!
Oh, I'll get the car. Kill everyone else.
The penalty for robbery is usually 5 years in jail, but the use of a weapon bumps it up to 10. And by bringing Meg along, Peter could also be charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor, but a conviction would only add an extra year to his sentence. And assuming they really did kill everyone else at the bank, that's another 75 years for murder. I think after all this, Meg will be grateful her father ignores her existence most of the time. At least then he can't get her into trouble. If there's one piece of advice I could give to every inhabitant of Quahog, it would be to stay the hell away from Peter Griffin. He only knows how to solve problems with his fists and is quite literally the king of beating people up. See for yourself.
Peter, what are you clenching in that fist there?
What's your name?
Derek.
What's your name?
Michael.
You're Derek now.
There's gotta be a better way.
He's got a knife!
Oh.
Bingo, bitches! Bingo.
Hey, Peter, my kid's selling Girl Scout cookies. Is
that oxygen for Ed's retirement cake?
Secret Santa? Carpool info?
Finally! Now I can get myself to the...
Jeez, I think someone needs some anger management therapy. Assault is punishable by 20 years in prison, so Peter's looking at least 160 years in the Stony Lonesome from this alone. And honestly,
man, beating somebody up get you 20 years? Man, come on, bro. They don't let us have no fun no more, man. That's it.
I feel bad for whoever Peter's cellmate is. They'll constantly need to tread on eggshells to avoid getting their lights punched out over the slightest inconvenience. Peter Griffin really is an awesome dad. Just look at him having some father-son time with Stewie.
Daddy, I want to turn on the swing set.
No, get lost.
It looks like fun and I want to do it.
I'm gonna do a big jump off. Get Mom! 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 Mom!
Or the loving bond he shares with his daughter.
Hey, Meg, come here. Have a seat.
Dad, what are you doing?
Meg, I'm a redneck. I am about to do something to you you'll not remember until you're 40. Meg, come back here. I meant...
Meg was 100% right to call Peter a Mr. Selfish-ass dad, but the fat man is actually way worse than what you just saw. His awful parenting abilities and dangerously impulsive nature have led to his children being severely abused over the years.
I'm gonna whip that cigarette out of your mouth and maybe not slice your face in half.
Don't want to do this.
Stay still! That's pretty cool, too.
Hey, Dad, that's a cool... I thought you couldn't understand me!
Only gonna hurt for about 3 weeks. What the hell?
You fatso, punch your baby in the face.
I did good, Meg.
Shut up.
Yeah!
I'm trying to watch my program.
Well, Chris, look, Mom's naked. You creep. We're gonna try for every single Emmy category, starting with Best Stunt Performance.
Peter, I don't think that's a category.
Best Documentary.
Oh.
And Peter's violence toward children don't stop at his own. Check this out.
Finish him! Hey, that is the last time you were gonna pull that crap. Do you hear me? Now you are going to hold down that football until Charlie Brown kicks it.
Yes.
Now go ahead, Charlie.
You're a poop nose.
Oh. Yep, there it is. Yep. They won't do that again. He probably gonna
You
do
see that
again.
fire extinguisher there?
That's enough. Dad, that's enough. That's enough, Dad.
Peter, the boat's right there. We'll totally make it.
Oh.
Literally standing on the boat.
Made it.
And here's the fun fact for you. Peter Griffin was actually based on a security guard at the college Seth MacFarlane went to. I sure as hell wouldn't want to have been that guy's kid. Peter clearly inflicted enough damage on the kids to be charged with first-degree He'd be sentenced to 20 years per account of so the kitty beater would be caged for 280 years. And child abusers are notoriously hated by other inmates, so hopefully Peter will be in for a taste of his own medicine. Remember the episode Amish Guy? The one where Peter tried to massacre around 20 Amish farmers? The Griffin's car breaks down on the way home from Six Flags, leaving them stranded in Amish country. They end up staying at an inn, and Meg falls in love with an Amish boy named Eli. However, Eli's father, Ezekiel, is not impressed with Meg.
As for you, I suggest you stay away from my son, you harlot.
Meg runs to Peter crying, and he tries to win over Ezekiel by showing him rock music. This causes an angry mob to descend on the inn, and the Griffins escape the Amish on a horse and cart. They finally arrive home, but they find their house has been completely vandalized. Peter heads back to Amish country to put a violent end to the feud. Dang, they rebuilt that barn as fast as a cart, too. Meg and Eli rush to stop the fighting.
Dad, stop! Leave him alone!
Kill that man!
That man is my girlfriend, Meg!
And actually manage to talk some sense into their fathers. The fighting ends and Meg and Eli part ways, realizing they just can't be together. Eli won't be the only person Meg might never see again. Peter will be facing 20 years for each Amish guy he attempted to murder. I saw around 20 men in that clip. That's 400 years in prison, baby. But I think Meg will be the only one sad about losing Eli. After all, Peter has been a total jackass to her all her life. Most of the blood on Peter's chubby hands is the result of his reckless behavior, causing disastrous accidents. He has also committed dozens upon dozens of cold-blooded murders, and I must warn you, some of them are pretty damn brutal. But wait, there's more!
Kill it! Kill it!
That's different.
Hi, Dad.
My name is Peter, too! So you concocted an elaborate series of murders, leading me to the fictional Scottish route.
I hope these taste as good as they look.
The secret is in the frosting.
I estimate Peter's total murder count to be at least 45. That means he's a literal serial killer roaming the streets of Quahog. A life sentence for murder in Rhode Island can be 25 years, so Peter's sentence for this would be 1,125 years at the minimum. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and for Peter Griffin, that includes participating in a terrorist plot. Peter and the guys take up skydiving to make their lives less boring, but Peter becomes addicted to the thrill of it and ends up getting hurt badly.
The ground! Damn it! The Eiffel Tower. Oh, cool, I'm in Paris. Ah, crap, I'm in Vegas.
While recovering in the hospital, Peter befriends a Muslim named Muhammad. Muhammad introduces Peter to Islamic culture and decides to become a Muslim. One day, Peter attends a Muslim meetup with Muhammad, and he really should have paid attention to the topic of conversation.
I told you, he's the perfect man to help us blow up the Quahog Bridge.
Oh my god! Everybody down! So are these toys just like to take?
Blissfully unaware that he's part of the plot to blow up the Quahog Bridge now, Peter plants a van on the bridge filled with explosives. Luckily, the terrorists are apprehended by Joe and put behind bars. To celebrate the foiled plot, Peter dials the drunken clam to reserve a table, but the terrorists have already hooked up his phone to the bomb.
Yeah, I think we could all use a drink.
Call Horace and tell him to get our table ready.
Peter, did you just...
Let's go.
And obliterating that bridge isn't the only act of terrorism Peter has committed. Remember that time he and Lois became anti-vaxxers? Stewie becomes injured after Peter tries to kill a bat.
I got you now, Bat Damon. I named you Bat Damon. And now I want you to live.
Ow! You can beat me, but I am who I am!
Hey, maybe if he aimed that racket a little to the left, he could have whacked Stewie's head into a normal shape again. Lois and Peter take the baby to the hospital where the doctor offers him a vaccination, but after reading about the potential side effects, they become anti-vaxxers. To spread the word about how harmful vaccines are, Lois and Peter stage a protest in the park that'll give you secondhand embarrassment as it did me.
Parents of Quahog, number of childhood vaccines has tripled in the last generation because heartless corporations make billions of dollars, garbage and poison upon our children.
But after every kid at Stewie's preschool falls ill with measles, Lois realizes she was wrong and wants to get Stewie vaccinated after all. Unfortunately, the little guy and everyone in town is gonna have to wait to get their shots.
Yeah, it might be a little too late for that. Destroyed all the vaccines in town.
That's one way to do it.
All right, what else did I have to do today? Ah, yes, overdose in my apartment.
Off topic, but that 30-second clip was more interesting than the entirety of Joker 2. Terrorism is a Class X felony everywhere in the US, and a conviction means life in prison without parole, period. But if Peter was just charged with murdering all those people on the bridge and at the vaccine factory, his sentence would be 25,000 years. And that's just me assuming 1,000 people died as a result of the carnage. Peter is a great big dumb oaf, and his stupidity and self-centeredness have resulted in dozens of innocent people being killed and maimed in tragic accidents. One of the worst examples of this was the time Peter tried to impress his boss.
What do you want, Griffin?
Angela, look out your window. Bush billboard next to the children's hospital. Watch this. Oh, God. Oh, my God. This is horrible. Oh, that's terrible. Bless their Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming he didn't get that promotion. And then there was the time he foolishly jumped through the roof as Mary Poppins.
Nanny wanted. Well, that sounds like a good job for an immigrant.
We're getting a new nanny. Oh, Jane, I'm ever so excited. I've always imagined the most beautiful...
Ah, damn it.
While those cases were tragic and all, Peter has caused even worse disasters during his 2-decade feud with Ernie the giant chicken. The conflict has resulted in unimaginable amounts of destruction. We're talking thousands of deaths and millions, maybe even billions worth of property damage.
My God, look at all this devastation.
And did you know that Ernie is actually a real giant chicken? Like, I always thought it was some weirdo in a suit. Since Ernie is an animal and therefore immune to criminal responsibility, that means Peter is solely to blame for everything. I estimate that at least 15,000 people have died as a result of Peter's reckless shenanigans. Manslaughter can carry a sentence of 30 years in prison, and times that by the death toll, that makes Peter's sentence in prison 450,000 years long. And there you have it. Peter's grand total prison sentence is 476,266 years and 6 months long.
Good Lord, I couldn't imagine how much commissary he would need to survive for that long. Shoot, I was able to survive a year off of $44. Yeah, I'm saying, and 60-something cents. Oh boy. A lot of country time lemonade, lots of small quarter bags of hot Cheetos that cost $1 a piece. You know what I'm saying?
Ever wondered, hey, what if the characters in Family Guy got charged for their crimes? No? Just me? Okay. Well, to find out the answer to my own question, apparently, I spent the last 7 days huddled in a dark bedroom watching Family Guy on repeat. And let me tell you, one thing became apparent very quickly. Glenn Quagmire is getting thrown in jail faster than you can say giggity.
Giggity giggity. Giggity goo. Stick around.
I'll be ranking his offenses from petty misdemeanors to crimes so disgusting and perverted they are single-handedly keeping Family Guy at a 15+ age rating.
Cereal? You mean like multiple? Plural? Did not know he was doing all that.
Alrighty, let's begin with Quagmire's first crime. Deliberately spreading his transmitted diseases. Quagmire ain't called Captain Syphilis for nothing. He's absolutely riddled with like every STD and STI out there.
No.
Hepatitis C. Joke's on you. I already got it.
Meningitis.
I'm a carrier.
Gonorrhea.
Patient 0. You're gonna have to do better than that.
I don't know, Joe. That's it. We're out of known diseases.
And the guy doesn't give a damn about spreading them to other people. He really is the most self-centered jackass there is.
Sharing is caring, but not when it's STDs, baby. Man, you gotta keep that shit to yourself.
Knowingly exposing others to disease is a crime and punishable by 3 months imprisonment. That seems incredibly lenient for something so serious. You're telling me Quagmire could literally give some chick AIDS and he'll only be getting a few months in the slammer as punishment? Lucky him. Everybody knows Quagmire is a addicted creep who's not exactly Ryan Gosling in the looks department. So it makes sense for him to get involved with a or two.
All right, you girls ready? What's going on? Don't you laugh at it!
In fact, Quagmire sees so many he literally requires an assistant to schedule his appointments.
Chris, could you please get Hannah a thank you basket and schedule her next appointment? I'd like to see her again in 2 weeks.
Of course. Mr. Quagmire can fit in you at 3 o'clock a week from Thursday.
That works.
And you know to fast the night before?
Yep.
And would you like to leave your panties in the fishbowl for a chance to win a free lunch?
How the hell is Chris gonna explain this job on his resume? Paying for is actually a crime in the state of Rhode Island. It is illegal, and those caught giving money to a hooker can be charged with procurement of. And the penalty? 1 year in prison. That doesn't seem so bad, but just think about how many times Glenn has been with her. Dude. And we know the Quagmire's had at least 1,000 different women because he once threw a Quag Fest to celebrate reaching said milestone.
All right, kids, now pay attention. All right, these are all of Quagmire's women organized by country. There's Brazil, there's Italy, and there's Thailand. Wow. Wow, they're young. We should go.
I don't even want to begin to imagine how many kids this dude has. I'd estimate that at least 75% of those 1,000 partners were. And if Glenn was charged for each one, that'd be 750 years in jail. Speaking of, there was an episode of Family Guy where Quagmire actually became a himself. When the pilots go on strike, Quagmire needs to find a way to make money. He stumbles upon a bachelorette party, and the women mistake him for a stripper. That inspires him to take up a job at the local strip club.
Bye. Yep. Oh, no. Can't be happy to this.
He's actually like super athletic for a guy in his 60s. Must have been all the he's had. However, Quagmire's stripping career is short-lived, and he soon ends up taking on a more profitable job. I just can't believe women are actually paying to sleep with Quagmire. Surely there are better looking escorts in Quahog. Quagmire had with 11 women in that episode. The penalty for 6 months, so do the math. That's 5.5 years in prison. And I do feel kind of bad that Quagmire had to sell his body to lonely old ladies for money, but my heart also goes out to the clients. Glenn probably spread an STD to like every single one of them. Quagmire's very active life has resulted in him fathering hundreds of kids, and he has zero interest in being a parent to literally any of them.
Daddy?
Oh, God!
Daddy?
Oh, God!
Oh.
Papa?
Oh, God!
How many kids he got, baby?
Hey, there are no kids in here, right?
No,
He
just
got
me.
all the children,
Oh, thank God.
man.
That distinctive Quagmire jaw genes mean that Glenn is able to see his kids coming from a mile away. But there was one child who was born actually normal, and that eventually led to this very disturbing encounter.
A lot of fun with you tonight, Courtney.
Me too.
Drake.
Oh, giggity.
Did you just say giggity?
Sometimes I just blurt that out when I get excited.
Oh, my God! Rub this up and down on the inside of your cheek.
Now that Glenn has been reunited with the daughter he didn't know he had, he decides to make up for the lost time by taking her to work with him. But I don't think the same rules of take your kid to work day apply when you're a pilot.
He almost
Now
smashed
roll it.
his own daughter?
What? No way.
You're a Quagmire.
almost
Grip it and
smashed
rip it.
his
Okay.
own daughter.
No, we're not doing that. I got my daughter with me today, you perverts.
He's not doing it today.
Another time. Probably got his kid with him.
Glenn Quagmire calling his colleagues perverts really is just the most ironic thing I can think of. Courtney's not a trained pilot, so allowing her to fly the aircraft and even be inside the cockpit mid-flight is a clear violation of aviation regulations. Glenn could be sentenced to 1 year in prison and fined $500. And if you ask me, that's pretty light for such a dangerous crime. We're talking about hundreds of lives being at risk here. Now, you would probably have expected Quagmire to expose himself to his not-so-secret crush, Lois, but the one time he did choose to flash himself, it was in front of an innocent delivery woman just trying to make ends meet.
Package for Glenn Quagmire?
Oh, excuse me. I got a package for you, too. All right. Nice try, but I built up an immunity.
Poor Chris has to live on a street with no one but 2 perverts. In Rhode Island, it's illegal to intentionally expose your genitals to the view of another, where doing so can cause distress or alarm to that person. And that delivery girl looked pretty distressed to me. Therefore, Quagmire is guilty of indecent exposure and can be sentenced to a whole year in prison. Womp womp. Meg is the very abused black sheep of her family, so whenever she gets an opportunity to have fun, I'm thrilled. After Peter is declared mentally unfit to look after children, finally, Meg has a sleepover at Cleveland's house, but it gets ruined by a certain someone.
Damn it, you guys are boring the crap out of me. Stupid, mindless chatter is what it is. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go back to my place and rent a dirty movie. This is ridiculous.
That was weird. Oh well. Hey, let's compare breasts.
I know Peter would let Quagmire perv on the girls to spoil Meg's night, but Cleveland's a decent guy. I bet Glenn actually broke in uninvited, and if that's the case, he's trespassing. And that wasn't the first time Glenn broke into someone's house to fulfill his desires. Check this out.
Chris, that it has even gone this far means you are a dirtbag.
Wow! Chris actually succeeded in making himself look like an even bigger creep than Quagmire. Congrats, buddy. Yeah, so trespassing is a misdemeanor. Not sure about the spying on teenage girls and Lois in the shower parts, though. That's certainly another crime. Glenn would be in prison for 1 year for the trespassing, and that means Meg has got exactly 12 months to try and throw an undisturbed slumber party. But with Quagmire out of the picture, I'm sure somebody else will ruin it for her.
Bitch! Oh, crap, I'm stuck in the stand.
Oh, God, kill me now.
Quagmire only cares about his schlong, so screw your property. Peter and his family are watching an air show, and you can probably guess who the star of the show is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Glenn Quagmire.
Seems like everything's going well, until...
Whoa, gonna need some help here. All right.
Definitely gonna need some help for that.
I really don't think Quagmire can go 5 minutes without thinking about... Deliberately driving a hole through those 4 billboards is criminal damage. Glenn can be sent to prison for 1 year and fined 3 times the amount of damage he caused. I'd estimate that his fine would be approximately $10,000. He's gonna have to make some serious budget cuts to pay for that. So no more than 1 day, Quagmire. Invading the privacy of women is clearly one of Glenn's favorite pastimes.
Giggity. Would you just sit down and go to the bathroom already?
I really need to go.
She said she'll be out in a minute.
Remind me again why Peter or anyone is friends with this creep? Spying on someone else for your own gratification is more than just invading their privacy, it's voyeurism. And Quagmire can be sentenced to 1 year in jail for those first 2 clips alone. Then there's video voyeurism, and that's an even worse crime. Glenn would rightfully spend 3 years in prison for trying to film Meg going to the bathroom. Quagmire loves to gate crash other shows. And when he made a cameo in American Dad, he was, of course, being his usual pervy self. Francine believes she may be pregnant despite the fact that Stan has had a vasectomy. She ends up taking a super sketchy online pregnancy that requires her to do some pretty freaky things.
I first took several pictures of my genitals.
And then one of me peeing on a teddy bear.
I don't think that's real.
He's a legitimate doctor, Stan. See for yourself.
Dr.
Stan and Francine wait anxiously for the test results, but they never hear back from Dr. Vagers, who has already moved on to his next patient.
Please think closer. Thank you, Dr. Vagers. Wow.
Now that I think about it, Francine kind of looks a bit like Quagmire's dad, Ida. And that makes this whole situation 10 times weirder. Glenn Quagmire, aka Dr. Vangers, is obviously not a real doctor. That means he's guilty of fraud, and a conviction would result in 3 years in the big house. If there's one good thing about Quagmire, is that he always wants to help out his friends, and will even break the law to do so. Bonnie is just given birth, but Joe can't afford the $20,000 medical bill. I know the Europeans watching this video are in shock right now. So he and the guys turn to Lois's father, Carter Pewterschmidt, for help.
So that's pretty much it, Mr. Pewterschmidt. Is there any way you could help us out?
Of course I could, but it's funnier to me if I don't. In about an hour, I'm gonna piss away 20 grand.
Carter really is the final boss of capitalism. Not taking no for an answer, Peter suggests the guys rob the money from Pewterschmidt. Now, cue the most bizarre heist ever.
Uh-oh. It's a combination lock. I'm just gonna have to cut through it. Good thing I brought Reese Witherspoon's chin. I'm in.
The guys are just about to get their paws on the money, but Joe calls off the heist after Lois convinces him to do the morally right thing for baby Susie's sake. However, Joe does get to pay his medical bill in the end.
How'd you get your dad to give him that 20 grand?
I said I wanted to hire a divorce lawyer.
For his part in the heist to steal Carter's money, Quagmire would be sentenced to 5 years in prison for burglary. Maybe he'd get away with it by blaming Peter in Cleveland, but I don't know if he'd do that. Poor Brian always seems to be on the receiving end of the other characters' tempers, and when it's not his own family beating him, it's Quagmire. Glenn's father, Lieutenant Commander Dan Quagmire, pays him a surprise visit. Quagmire introduces Dan to his friends, but instead of welcoming their buddy's father with open arms, the guys do this.
So all of a sudden, we get these orders. Day of all days, I have to put on a helmet. I remember majestic orange. The breeze was just warm enough, but, you know, not so warm that because let me tell you, I do hate to perspire.
Oh, sorry, that's my auto spell correct. Yeah, he's super gay.
What are friends for, huh? Quagmire's pissed about the jokes at first, but when Dan's fellow sailors have this to say about him at the Navy ball,
he'd walk into an army barracks and make every private there feel important. Yeah, he just knew how to stroke those privates.
Your dad was cock of the walk. Every day at rifle training, he'd help me clean my butt.
Your dad had the best penis in the military.
Okay, just stop!
Glenn decides to confront his father about his... Dan comes out to his son, but not as a homosexual, as transgender. After getting his change and becoming Ida, she meets the canine of her dreams at the bar. And when Glenn eventually finds out Brian hooked up with his father, he really lets him have it.
One eternity later.
That's what you do when someone
Despite having
your
been
dad.
beaten senseless, Brian still has to be a smartass and get the last word in.
Dad.
For beating Brian black and blue, Quagmire would be convicted of animal cruelty and caged in a prison cell for the next 5 years. With his hundreds of 18 to 20-something-year-old available on speed dial, Quagmire's got access to all the young chicks he could dream of. So why does he get caught sleeping with underage teens? When Peter finds out his birth certificate actually reads Justin Griffin, he embodies his new cool kid persona by throwing a house party.
Peter, what the hell is going on?
Dude, is that your mom?
No, I'm not his mom, you little bastard. All right, everyone out of here.
A bunch of underage girls happen to be at this middle-aged guy's party, and one ends up going home with Quagmire.
Wait, what? You drive a school bus?
No, silly. I take the bus. I'm in high school.
No. Always get their IDs.
Sorry to bother you, but we're following up on a tip. Did you have sex with this underage girl? Quagmire, I'm afraid you're under arrest for statutory rape.
And that is why Quagmire will never get his own spin-off show. In Rhode Island, an adult is guilty of statutory rape, but the victim is between the ages of 14 and 16. This disgusting creep would have only gone to jail for 5 years in the real world, but in the show, the judge sentences him to 20 years in the clink. And just when I thought the show was finally going to give Glenn his comeuppance, he gets completely off the hook.
Mr. Quagmire, wait. I wanted to tell you the good news in person. Your sentence has been commuted.
I don't understand.
Hello, Glenn.
What's going on here? By the way, Your Honor, your fly is down.
Well, let's just say some new DNA evidence was produced.
And an impressive amount, I'd say.
Mom, did you?
Yep, twice.
Yep, Quagmire's deeply religious Christian mom spared her son jail by screwing the judge. A grown man punching a 13-year-old kid is not cool. And yes, I'm still looking at you, Mr. Glenn Quagmire. Chris is determined to prove to everyone that the evil monkey in his closet is real. He sets up a camera to capture video evidence, but finds some pretty weird footage the next morning.
Yep, that's how you do it. That's what you do to him. That'll teach him. Yep. Right in his eyeball.
So, was that punch supposed to be part of the prank, or does Quagmire just not like Chris? And the scariest thing that happened that night wasn't Quagmire punching a kid, the evil monkey in the closet, or even Lois stealing her son's wallet. It was this.
Oh! Ugh. Huh?
You gotta hand it to Herbert, though. He really is a talented painter. Anyway, giving a kid a black eye is a very serious crime. Quagmire would get charged with child abuse and could be sent to jail for 10 years. I'm only halfway through this video, and Quagmire's already earned himself nearly 800 years in the Quahog City Jail. And if you think Glenn couldn't possibly do anything worse than battering a dog or having sex with a minor, you're wrong. Some of these next crimes I'm about to show you involve death, destruction, and profiting off of human misery. Quagmire must have the wildest search history. I mean, look at what he's watching here.
Oh my God! Yeah, while he was watching clown.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. It turns out Quagmire is so obsessed with that he actually resorts to banging the dead. I'm not talking about zombies or people dressed up like zombies. I'm talking legit dead, cold corpses. In the Cleveland show episode, Gone with the Wind, Cleveland is preparing for the karaoke competition final, but his rehearsal gets interrupted by some sad news. His ex-wife, Loretta, is dead. Quagmire arrives in Stool Bend with the body. I don't like where this is going already. He explains how Loretta died, and surprise, surprise, dumb old Peter is to blame.
Do you know how she died?
It all started when Brian dug up a brontosaurus skull.
All right, a little more, a little more. Oh, time for United States of Terror.
Oh, no, 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 no! That must be like one of the most embarrassing ways to die. Rip Loretta, man. And Cleveland isn't even mad that Peter killed his ex-wife. He's a forgiving guy. But he must be super forgiving to give Quagmire a free pass on this.
Why is she wearing a French maid's costume?
Because I wanted to nail a dead French maid. Giggity, giggity!
Seth MacFarlane really wasn't exaggerating when he called Quagmire an appalling human being. Necrophilia is illegal for obvious reasons. If Quagmire were convicted, he'd be sentenced to 10 years in prison. And it'll definitely be a long, lonely decade. Because let's face it, who's gonna want to befriend the guy in for screwing the dead? Sleeping with a corpse is already a disgusting, perverted, degenerate act. But having with another species debatably might be worse. Leave it up to you for that. In the Family Guy universe, interspecies relationships don't even seem taboo. I mean, just take a look at Brian's girlfriends or Quagmire's wedding day.
Announce you husband and wife.
I'm glad we waited.
And a marriage wasn't even the worst thing to come out of that relationship.
Yep. The worst thing came right out the back of the...
that's not mine.
Dang, Quagmire's genes are so strong, even a giraffe inherited his jawline. While fathering a baby humaff might be fascinating to some scientists, though...
And he cheated on the giraffe with a different giraffe. Must be a heavy petting zoo, huh? Cause this... we gonna edit that out.
The law will find it absolutely despicable. Making love to a giraffe, I can't even believe I'm saying this, is zoophilia, and that's a crime in the real world. Quagmire will be locked up for 20 years, and I doubt his giraffe son or any of his hundreds of kids would want to visit him during that time. The Quahog Harvest Festival Parade is in town, and each street must create a float. And this is what the guys at Spooner Street come up with. Hey, that guy kind of looks like he could be at Quagmire's post-jaw surgery. The float is such a hit that it reminds Peter about that time the guys got free cable.
Oh, we are not bad people. We just don't want to pay $12 a month for Cinemax.
Now, I'm not condoning violence, but $12 does seem like a lot, especially considering this is the very early 2000s. Spooner Street's float ends up winning the contest, but Brian's love of shiny objects means they'll never get to keep the trophy.
Oh.
While the float was kind of cool, throwing punches at that cable guy certainly wasn't. Quagmire would be charged with assault and could be jailed for 20 years with no cable television. Oh, the horror! Remember that time when Quagmire got married and regretted the whole thing 5 minutes later? Peter wins the Wheel of Fortune, and his prize is a free maid for the week.
No one's cleaned my belly button in a long time.
What is this?
A cat in the parliaments?
Please tell me Joan is getting paid a lot of money for this gig. Peter introduces Quagmire to his maid, and they fall in love at first sight.
I'm in love.
Quagmire and Joan get engaged, and this causes him to turn over a new leaf and become a decent, non-perverted member of society. Peter is heartbroken to have lost his own personal maid and his friend at the same time. To try and win him back, Peter takes Quagmire to his most favorite place on Earth, the strip club.
Time for your lap dance.
No, guys, I can't do that. It's degrading to women.
Come on, Quagmire, it's gotta be you. I'm married, Cleveland's got foot odor, and Joe's dead from the waist down.
While that didn't work, something else does happen in the wedding reception that instantly transforms Glenn back to his old self.
Oh, look out, champagne. Oh, Lois, you're all wet. Here, let me jiggle you dry.
Giggity, giggity, God, I've made a terrible mistake.
Quagmire wants to get a divorce, but Joan has other ideas.
What? But I told them they didn't know what they were talking about.
Good, because if you ever left me, I'd cut you.
And that is precisely why you don't get married at first sight. To try and escape Joan's clutches, Quagmire fakes his own death with a little help from his friends.
Here's Quagmire walking through the park. I just happened to be there with my video camera when a ninja shows up. And then a Nazi came. And then an evil pots and pans robot. Destroy. Joan obviously doesn't believe that, so Glenn tries faking a heart attack instead. That works, and his funeral is put in place. The plan was to bury Quagmire alive and then dig him up later, but Mayor West has just declared that all graves will be covered in concrete.
Well, Mayor West is afraid of zombies, so the city says all caskets must be encased in concrete.
And Joan is just so relieved that her husband is alive. But death has already arrived and must take a soul of them. Joan begs for Glenn to be spared, but ends up dying herself when she touches Death. Before his wife is taken to the afterlife, though, Quagmire asks Death for a quick favor.
Hey, Death, can you leave that body here for another 5 minutes?
No! That's disgusting!
Ew. Faking your death doesn't happen a lot in Rhode Island, so it's difficult to say how Quagmire would be charged, but I think he'd at least get 20 years for it, 10 for faking his own death, and another 10 years for the necrophilia part. Dirty old Quagmire has perved on dozens of unsuspecting female characters throughout the show.
Well, hello, Lois.
Quick, I need to borrow your car. I've got a bar mitzvah to stop.
No problem. Let me grab my keys.
Yo, this is the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in any show.
Didn't mean to wake you. Bonnie's a weird slut who's always letting you know she's open for business.
When am I doing that?
Oh, come on. When are you not doing that? With that boo-boo baby voice and that still breastfeeding rack? Give me some of that. Hey there, sweetie. How old are you?
16.
18. You're first.
Mom!
I like where this is going. Giggity, giggity, giggity.
A lot of time and energy to this relationship with patience that it could grow into something much more significant. If you're just stringing her along, well, gotta say, I've lost a lot of respect for you, Brian.
And Glenn is so creepy, even Samara from The Ring is afraid of him. The fact that Quagmire can actually be turned on by a literal demon shows just how messed up his addiction is. Glenn would get 5 years for each account of harassment, so those clips alone will earn him 30 years in prison. And we can only hope there are no female prison wardens working at the Quahog City Jail. You know, I totally forgot that Quagmire has a sister. Probably because she's been blessed with a normal jawline. Brenda and her abusive boyfriend Jeff visit Quagmire in the hospital while he recovers from this self-induced accident.
Holy crap! Oh my god! He must have autoerotically asphyxiated himself!
Yeah, while he was watching clown.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby!
And I thought his clown kink was weird. However, Quagmire doesn't need any medical intervention to recover, just Brenda singing.
Glenn, don't die from autoerotic asphyxiation. Your friends want to go fishing with you.
This song is from childhood?
Live to see tomorrow, October 31st, 2011.
Glenn is discharged, and Jeff and Brenda stay the night so that she can tend to him. But nobody in the neighborhood can sleep thanks to Jeff's angry fits of rage. The next day, Brenda has a black eye and reveals that she's pregnant. Quagmire worries if Jeff might eventually kill her and the child. Peter suggested they just beat the guy up, but Quagmire wants to do something even more sinister.
We kill a bastard!
Whoa, Quagmire.
If I Suck at My Job was a person, it would definitely be Joe Swanson. Look at him just sitting back letting his friends plot murder on his watch. The guys invite Jeff on a hunting trip, but they never get the chance to execute their plan because Peter accidentally tells Jeff that they're going to kill him. So Jeff grabs a gun and is about to kill Quagmire.
I guess that little baby's gonna grow up without an uncle.
But Glenn gets one chance to save himself after convincing the egotistical tough guy to put the gun down and fight man to man.
You know, if you had any balls, you'd put that gun down and we could settle this like men.
Suit yourself, man.
I guess Jeff was right. Quagmire really is a scrawny bastard. Why didn't he just knock him out with his massive jaw? Jeff starts digging a hole to bury the body, but Quagmire's not finished just yet.
What the hell? I killed you!
I choke myself every day, you bastard.
Really? How do you do that every day? I don't get it. Oh, God!
I kind of wish they added a giggity at the end of that, I'm not gonna lie. The guys head home, and Joe, the cop, writes a letter to Brenda pretending to be Jeff, explaining that he ran away and just won't ever return. Who knew getting away with murder would be so easy? But let's pretend Quagmire got caught and was put on trial for murder. If found guilty, the best case scenario is he gets let out on parole in 25 years. The worst case scenario, he's locked up for life. And even though Jeff was a scumbag who had it coming, I don't know if the judge would give him a lesser sentence due to that. So it's heavily implied in Family Guy that Glenn is a serial kidnapper. We first see Quagmire drug and kidnap Brian's love interest, Brooke.
All right. Oh, forgot about you guys. Well, I guess your date's over. Good night, Brooke. Thanks for a lovely evening.
Next, the episode Family Guy Light revealed to us that Glenn's house is fitted with booby traps to stop women from escaping.
Gonna have sex with you. Guys, let me out of here!
Lastly, Quagmire once let this very dark and disturbing secret slip.
What do you say we hit another bar? Keep it going.
I can't. There's a girl tied up in my basement who needs some food.
You funny, Pointy Man.
Those clips show us that he's kidnapped at least 3 people, and kidnapping carries a penalty of 30 years. So Glenn, for these specific instances, will be spending 6 very long decades in jail, which is exactly what he deserves. We don't see a lot of Mort in the show, but when we do, something memorable usually happens. Peter's stupidity leaves Quagmire hurt yet again.
Oh! Holy crap, Quagmire, you all right?
No, I'm not all right. My head's gushing blood, you idiot!
They go to Mort's pharmacy to get medicine, but find out that it's closing down. Quagmire and Peter try to stop Mort's business from going under, but end up massacring a bunch of teenagers instead of saving the business.
We got a giggity over there on the 32nd floor. I'm gonna go in for a closer look. All right.
Look out!
Oh, no!
As that was an epic fail, they decided to just burn down the store and get the insurance money instead. But Joe quickly notices things don't add up about the fire, and this is confirmed when he listens to a voicemail Peter accidentally pocket dialed to him the night of the fire.
Look at that fire we started, Quagmire and Mort. You know who I don't miss is Joe.
Joe arrests his friends without a second thought, and I was shocked by that. He's totally chill with Quagmire killing Jeff and kidnapping women but he'll handcuff the guys straight away over a bit of insurance fraud? Yeah. Joe really needs to get his priorities checked. 3 crimes were committed in that episode: insurance fraud, arson, and manslaughter. The school bus can carry around 40 teenagers, and the maximum penalty for manslaughter in Rhode Island is 30 years. Add another 40 years for the arson and insurance fraud, and Quagmire's looking at 1,240 years in jail. But hey, at least Peter and Mort will be there to keep him company. As well as being a serial kidnapper, Glenn is also a serial... Big shocker, I know, and there are many episodes to prove this. Exhibit A, the episode of Mission Impossible reveals that Quagmire is a registered offender.
In accordance with Megan's law, I'm obligated to inform you that, you know what, that's fine, I'll take the kids.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Megan's law is a federal law that prevents children from coming into contact with people like Quagmire who have been convicted of crimes against children. Exhibit B, in the episode It Takes a Village Idiot and I Married One, the Griffins spend the night at Quagmire's vacation cabin and discover it's fitted with this booby trap.
Oh!
I think the kids in Brian will need some eye bleach pronto. We also see Quagmire come across a tied up.
That machine comes with built-in doggy-style enforcement? I had to get 6 of them.
Junior high cheerleader in the episode, Peter Griffin, husband, father, brother.
Don't you tell women on me. Oh.
Dear Diary, jackpot.
I don't think I want to know what he was doing in the girls' bathroom in the first place. And finally, Exhibit C, don't forget about that time Glenn lent Meg a huge bag of his roofies.
I was wondering if I could borrow some roofies?
Oh, sure. Just a sec. Seeing anyone special these days?
Hey, obviously, right?
Roofies is a street word for a sedated drug named flunitrazepam, a drug commonly used to commit date. Judging by that half-empty bag, I would guess Quagmire has probably, or at least attempted to, around 50 women. It's punishable by 10 years in prison, so Quagmire would be sentenced to 500 years in the jailhouse at the bare minimum. Quagmire has a stable job at the airport that earns him plenty of money, yet he still chooses to profit off of human misery. After watching a redneck comedy show, Peter is inspired to become one. He starts doing typical redneck things like bringing the couch out on the lawn, chewing tobacco, and attempting to drive a pickup truck.
What the hell? My car! Oh, damn it! Hey, come back! Oi, jump on now!
Okay, so my tie's a little rusty, so you're gonna have to forgive me here, but I believe Glenn is basically shouting, "Come back here, you I already paid for you." And those aren't the only women he's trafficked either. Trafficking another person is a serious felony, and Quagmire can be imprisoned for 50 years and fined $40,000. I saw around 11 women in those clips. That means Glenn's total sentence would be 550 years in jail, plus a $440,000 fine. Quagmire is so much more than a creepy old pervert, though. He's literally a mass murderer. And his victims? The Simpsons. Yes, even the kids. Quagmire travels all the way to Springfield to bone Marge Simpson.
3 times in a row! You're amazing, Glenn!
Oh, I just take a lot of pride in what I do.
And just like a bad soap opera, Homer barges into the bedroom and catches his wife in the act.
Hey, what's going on here?
But instead of running away shouting giggity giggity, Quagmire chooses violence.
Oh my God!
I'm calling the police!
Ay, caramba! Mom and Dad are dead!
Oh no! Who will pay for my saxophone?
That pause before he decides to shoot baby Maggie was so sad. And here's a little secret about that scene. It was Family Guy's retaliation to The Simpsons posting a photo of Peter Griffin on a wanted poster for plagiarism. Fox actually banned the scene too, probably because it was too dark for TV. This pissed off Seth MacFarlane, who thought the channel was playing favorites between the shows. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to Quagmire. Murder carries a 25-year sentence in Rhode Island, which means Glenn will rot in jail for 125 years, forever haunted by the indelible image of the 3 little kids he killed. Altogether, Quagmire's total prison sentence is 3,413 years. That's certainly not worthy of a giggity giggity. Want to see who can top Glenn's jail sentence?
Brian and Quagmire's first interaction is in season 4's Brian the Bachelor. It's super indirect, but they both participate in The Bachelorette.
Quagmire?
Oh, hey, Brian.
How did you get on the show?
I had to do a few favors. Come on, I'll do anything.
Anything? Okay, check under the bed.
Nope, nothing. Nope, no monsters in here.
Now check the bathroom.
Nope, none in here either. So can I be on The Bachelorette?
Yeah, good night. I was very pleased and surprised. I really was not expecting an open bar.
Hey, guys. Well, it's been great to meet you all, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you while we're here.
Dude, put your pants on!
Shut up!
As you can see, the boys seem to be on good terms. This will change over time, but not yet. Their next interaction is also in season 4, in the episode Bango Was His Name-O.
Don't tell me you're going to California on that.
Bicycling is hard, but it has its benefits.
Hey, Brian, what do you think of my sign?
Quagmire's cross-country tour. Isn't there an O in country?
Nope. Look out, California, here I come.
California?
What are you doing?
Well, you heard Captain Syphilis. We're going to California.
Oh, come on. You can't go alone with Quagmire. I'll go with you.
Glad you guys are joining me.
I say, are we moving on yet?
Just hang out, little guy. I'll see you in a while.
I suppose I'll go pump the chemical toilet. Dear, what the hell is taking him so long? I'm missing precious time with my father. Which one of these is the horn?
Do something.
I'm afraid to press anything else.
As you can see, aside from Quagmire clapping some cheeks, everything is chill. But when Quagmire takes too long, Brian and Stewie do this.
All right, that's it. Listen, you pervert, what the devil is taking so long? Good Lord! Oh, Stewie, thank God. That cleaning lady cleaned me out. She took all my money. Grab those keys over there, will you?
These keys? These the ones you want?
Up yours!
What the hell are you doing? Where's Quagmire? We're stealing the Winnebago, aren't we?
Oh, you can read me like a book, Brian.
Maybe this was the start of it? Stewie is the one who left Quagmire, but does Quagmire know that? I don't know, but let's keep it moving. Next up is Season 6's Meet the Quagmires. After 0 interactions in Season 5, we see Brian sat at the bar with Quagmire and the rest of the gang. Then in another Season 6 episode, Former Life of Brian, we see the same thing. This time though, there's a little friction.
Landing. Oh, man, I tell you, now that I'm a parent, I can't even watch stories like that. I just think, oh my God, what if Dylan were on that plane?
Yeah, I understand. That'd be tough.
Quagmire. No, you do not understand. Until you have a child, you do not understand.
Jesus.
It's been like this all week. Hey, Brian, what would you do if Dylan fell out a window?
Oh my God, I don't even want to think about that. Oh God.
Brian, what would you do if Dylan was in a fire?
Oh my God, oh no, oh my God, oh God, oh no, knock on wood.
There's a difference between being concerned and being overprotective.
That is a dad talking, Quagmire. You can't hold your kids back. You have to give your kids both roots and wings.
I want to punch you in the dick right now.
We got one more Season 6 interaction, and it's an important one. In The Man with Two Brians, Peter brings home a new dog, and due to his jealousy, Brian gets kicked out of his house. Fortunately, his good friend Quagmire helps him out and lets him crash at his place for a little while. Once again, though, Stewie has to step in.
Thanks for letting me stay here, Glenn. I hope I'm not in the way.
Should be fine. Listen, Brian, I'll be bringing a Puerto Rican girl over here later. She's super hot and real nice, but when she was 5 years old, her dad ran over one of her legs with his van. It's still kind of messed up in a pretty obvious, instantly visible way. Please don't say anything. Try to make eye contact with her when she wobbles in, because I want this to work.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Stewie, what are you doing here?
New Brian is such a tool. He's turning the family into a bunch of douches.
You always told me I was a douche.
But you were my douche, Brian. Come back and be my douche again.
Hi, I'm looking for Glenn.
Oh, what happened to your leg? Oh, damn it, Brian!
After this, we head over to Season 7, and in Jerome is the New Black, it's flat out revealed that Quagmire hates Brian.
How's your friend search going?
Not great, Lois.
What friend search?
Oh, we're just trying to find a friend to replace Cleveland.
Well, I'll hang out with you guys.
You know, I don't think that's going to work out, Brian, because of the whole Quagmire thing.
What Quagmire thing?
Oh, just that he hates you.
I don't get it. Why wouldn't Quagmire like me?
Because he thinks you're annoying.
I always thought this was a random thing they just threw into later episodes, but it does make complete sense now. To Quagmire, Brian stole his RV. Brian was also a dick about the parenting stuff at the bar, and in their last interaction, he was a complete cockblock. A lot of it is Stewie's fault, but Brian is definitely taking the blame. Anyway, this whole episode focuses on Brian trying to win Quagmire over, and it does not go very well.
I'm gonna conveniently stroll by and strike up a conversation.
That does not work, Brian.
Hey, Quagmire! What a coincidence! You and me just running into each other. How you doing?
Fine.
Ah, taking a break, huh? She's a hot piece of ass, and from the looks of it, she likes it rough.
That's my sister, Brian. Her boyfriend has been beating her mercilessly. The last thing she'd want right now is to be objectified.
I'm really sorry.
I got a deaf brother. You want to make fun of him, too?
Where is she?
She's not here.
Get out, Jeff!
Oh, I'll get out when I'm finished.
Ow! Ow!
He's savagely beating her again. You hear that?
Yeah, I'm not deaf.
Oh, what, like my brother?
He just pisses him off more and more throughout the episode, finally leading to this brutal roast.
Whose leg do you have to hump to get a dry martini around here?
So how's the flying business?
Not so great. The economy's sort of taking its toll. A lot of salary cuts, a lot of layoffs. You want to learn more, read the papers, go on the internet. I don't know. You want to maybe just go?
Quagmire, come on. I'm really trying hard here.
Who asked you to try hard?
Nobody, but I'm trying to establish a friendship with you. How can you not like me?
I'll tell you. You constantly hit on your best friend's wife. The man pays for your food and rescued you from certain death, and this is how you repay him? And you're such a sponge. You pay for nothing. You always say, ooh, I'll get you later, but later never comes. Pretend you're this deep guy who loves women for their souls when all you do is date date bimbos. I date women for their bodies, but at least I'm honest about it. God, you're pretentious. And you delude yourself by thinking you're some great writer, even though you're terrible. I think what I hate most about you is your textbook liberal agenda, how we should legalize pot, man, how homelessness is the biggest tragedy in America. Well, what have you done to help? I work down at the soup kitchen, Brian. Never seen you down there. Driving a Prius doesn't make you Jesus Christ. Oh, wait, you don't believe in Jesus Christ because religion is for idiots. Well, who the hell are you to talk down to anyone? You failed college twice. How's that son of yours you never see? I could forgive all of that if you weren't such a bore. You're just a big, sad, alcoholic bore. I'll see you, Brian. Thanks for the steak.
Moving on, this next interaction is a major contribution to Quagmire's hatred towards Brian, as if it could get any worse. To cut right to the chase, Brian bangs Quagmire's dad. Well, kind of. In this episode, Dan Quagmire transitions to Ida, a woman, and after a few drinks, Brian hits that shit. As you can imagine, this does not go over very well with Quagmire.
Where is that self-centered, arrogant son of a bitch? Get out of there, you dirty little bastard! You're dead! If I ever see you anywhere near my house, I'll blow your head off! Now lay there and die, you piece of crap!
Hey, I your dad.
Now this is where most people end their videos, but I'm not no pussy. I'm gonna cover every fucking interaction between this dog and this womanizer up until the most recent seasons. In And Then There Were Fewer, Quagmire, Brian, and the entire cast of the show are lured out to a mysterious mansion by James Woods. James eventually gets murdered, and of course Quagmire blames it on Brian.
And what about Quagmire?
Fine, so he stole Cheryl Teagues from me. He ruined your TV pilot.
Go to hell, I backed out of that project willingly.
Oh yeah, that's what every hack says. You know, Brian,
Season 9's Teagues for Two is all about our favorite dynamic duo. After Brian completely fails at flirting with his new love interest, Denise, our boy is looking for some dating advice. Turns out, Quagmire has an entire class dedicated to dating, and who has more riz than the fucking goat himself. The only issue for Brian is, well, Quagmire fucking hates him. Despite knowing this, Brian risks attending, and unsurprisingly, gets treated like garbage.
Hi, I'm here for Peter Griffin. Wait over there. Not the best way to spend a Thursday night, huh?
You can say that again. So, what are you doing here?
I'm picking up my friend Peter.
I got arrested for protesting the Walmart opening. I'm Denise.
I'm Brian. Would you mind if I asked for your number? Who knows? Maybe we could get arrested together.
That's a good one.
Sure. I'd like that.
Come on, Peter. I'm here to take you home.
This is the only world I know anymore.
Peter, you've been in there for 15 minutes.
Oh.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, crap. He's in love again.
I know, but this time it's for real. Hey, Denise, it's me, Brian. Brian Griffin.
Oh, boy.
How about we go on an actual date? Uh-huh. Sounds great.
So?
Well, guess who has a date on Saturday? Not me.
Put the dog out. The dog's crying. Lois, can someone put the dog out? I'm trying to read. What the hell? What's the matter with you? Did an ambulance go by or something? Instead of sitting here feeling sorry for yourself, why don't you take Quagmire's class on picking up chicks?
How come I've never heard about this?
Because Quagmire forbids us to tell you about his life. As you may recall, he hates you.
I can't make you into studs. I can only help you bring out your inner stud.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
What are you doing here?
I'm in your class.
What? No way, I don't want you in here.
Now teach me how to find love.
All right, fine. But you lick yourself once in this class and you're out.
Super easy.
Don't look. I spilled something.
This fucker Quagmire even sets Brian up for failure, purposefully giving him bad advice that ends in a humiliating date.
I have to admit, Brian, I'm glad you called.
Call me the paw. That's what I go by now.
Okay.
A lot of babes here tonight. No. Shut up for a couple minutes. I'm gonna look around.
Brian, you're being kind of disrespectful.
Relax, baby. Hey, check your phone. I sent you something.
Oh my god, is that your...
Yeah! How'd you like to get hit in the face with that?
I'm gonna go.
Why, you getting more moles put on?
You know, I came here because I thought I'd made a mistake by not giving you a chance, but it's obvious you're just another typical jerk.
Not one to back down, Brian gets revenge by dating Quagmire's first true love, a girl from his high school days named Cheryl Teagues. Quagmire counters by dating Brian's ex, Jillian. A double date between the two turns into a fight, ending with both women walking out. In a rare, heartfelt moment, Brian and Quagmire share a one-on-one talk, but true to form, Quagmire fakes kindness by pretending to give Brian a ride.
Would you mind giving me a lift home, buddy?
Next, we move to Season 11's 12 and a Half Angry Men. When Mayor West goes on trial for murder, Brian is the lone juror, holding out for a not guilty verdict, trying to convince everyone there's reasonable...
Never fight with and or over females, man. It's never worth it. Yeah, I'm saying. You'll be lucky if she bones the winner, at least.
This annoys most of the jury, including Quagmire, who gets heated about Brian's stubbornness and accuses him of being a know-it-all.
It's his fault we're still here. You don't even understand your feelings for the mailman.
No one understands.
Get out of here, I'll kill you! This is ridiculous. Even if you don't believe the note was legitimate, there was an eyewitness who saw the entire thing.
She said she was at a sex party. Now, how could a woman at an orgy witness a murder? The bedroom was 100 feet from the window.
Trust me, you're banging 8 strangers who responded to a flyer. At some point, you're gonna look out a window and question every decision you've ever made. Look, I'll demonstrate. You people come here. All right, Tom, you're squinting. You're anticipating. Don't do that. Carl, you can take your fist out of your own mouth. Bruce, great work. Bruce seems like the only gamer here. And that places the witness right here, next to the lubricating station and the terrible-smelling guest book.
Would she be face up?
No, she had small breasts, but a great ass. She's definitely face down.
How could she see the window?
Oh my God, you're right.
Things take an even funnier turn when Brian presents a certain letter from Ida, leaving Quagmire both humiliated and furious.
Well, there's your motive. A note from the victim threatening Mayor West. What more proof do you want? Yeah, are you trying to suggest that Mayor West's enemy faked a corruption letter and then killed himself? That's idiotic!
But it just might work.
You know, something bothered me about the stationery that note was on, with the decorative M border. I'm pretty sure the M is for Marriott. I once got a note from the Marriott written on the same paper.
Dear Brian, you were amazing last night. Love, Ida.
Oh.
That is from the night you had sex with Quagmire's dad.
Oh, come on!
The victim had access to all the office of the mayor stationery he could ever want, yet he handmade a letterhead on stationery from a Marriott? As far as I'm concerned, that casts doubt.
In Season 11's Turban Cowboy, Peter's friendship with Mahmood causes tension at the clan. When Quagmire and Joe make critical remarks, Brian jumps in to defend Peter, accusing them of being racist. Quagmire, always quick on the draw, snaps back with a comment just for Brian.
Hello, Peter. Hey, guys, this is Mahmood.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hey there.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Mahmood, I'm actually glad you're here. Settle an argument we were having earlier. Which Spanish chick has better jugs? Salma Hayek or the other one?
I am married.
Salma Hayek.
What?
Did you know progress has the word pro in it, right?
What are you having?
How about the ginger ale? Right now I have to go bring great shame to myself by using the restroom.
Isn't he great?
Oh, he's weird. Why do you order a ginger ale?
Oh, I see what's going on. You guys are uncomfortable with Mahmood because he's Muslim. I, for one, think it's great that Peter has enough of an open mind to have a Muslim friend.
You know, a lot of dogs just sit outside, tied to poles.
So he's Muslim. Every culture has its quirks. Italian guys talk with their hands a lot. Irish guys drink a lot. Black guys change their shirts while they tell you a story.
Then, in Season 9's Road to the North Pole, Brian tries to mend things with Quagmire by being nice to his niece Abby while they're in line to see Santa. But true to form, Brian's efforts backfire.
Oh my God, look at the line!
Damn it, we're gonna be here forever.
There's Quagmire way up front. We can cut in line with him.
Glenn Quagmire? Wow, what are you doing here?
Just waiting for Santa like everyone else.
Here, who's this little guy, huh? Is this your nephew? Yeah, I hope you've been a good boy this year.
That little guy is my niece, Abby, you douche. Her hair's short because of the chemotherapy. Uh-oh.
Gosh, I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're sorry? Waiting in line is such a catastrophe for you that you'd rather destroy the confidence of a 5-year-old cancer patient?
I didn't know she was dying.
Uncle Glenn, am I dying?
No, sweetheart, you're not dying. Because we're going to see Santa, and he's going to bring you a new brain. Get out of here, Brian. Just get out of here.
The duo's next interaction is in Roads to Vegas from Season 11. While most of this episode focuses on Brian and Stewie in Las Vegas, there's one moment that shows just how dark Brian's rivalry with Quagmire can get.
I say, Brian, this backpack feels a bit lighter than it did before.
I actually used part of my portion to take care of some personal business. All right, fine.
This next one is so fucking funny. In Forget Me Not, Brian, Quagmire, and the rest of the gang lose their memories, and when they wake up, Quahog feels very different.
What the hell happened? Where is everybody?
You think we're the only people on Earth?
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna open up this bag of Chex Party Mix. If people don't show up, then we're it. Yep, we're it.
We know we woke up in the hospital. Maybe there was some kind of catastrophe that we were all spared. Or maybe we were all in some kind of accident.
Well, that would explain why you're in a wheelchair. You must have gotten hurt worse than the rest of us. Hey, you know, if we're all going to be trying to figure this out together, maybe it'd be easier if we gave each other names.
Hey, maybe my name is on this collar.
Cremate, don't bury.
I'm getting a feeling about my name. I think my name might be Shirt Pants.
Shirt Pants.
What's your name?
I kind of think it's Manly Walker.
Wheeler?
No, Walker.
Wheeler?
No, you're not hearing me right. It's Walker.
Probably Wheeler.
The entire place has been deserted, and they're the only ones left.
Wow.
Because Quagmire and Brian don't know each other, they actually get close again.
Well, this is 31 Spooner Street. I'm home.
Hang on, I got something. I poop a lot on this lawn. This must be where I live.
Word?
Hey, Shirt Pants, come in here.
You're my owner.
I knew we were pals.
See, you've got a dog collar and a leash?
And look how big your doggy cage is. You could fit a human in there.
Clearly, you're a good owner.
Oh, hey, guys.
Well, we got it all figured out. Turns out my name is Glenn Quagmire, and this is my dog.
This is shortly lived, as even with their memories erased, Quagmire eventually starts to hate Brian all over again.
Give me paw. Paw. Good. Other paw. No, other paw. No, we practiced this. You're gonna make me look bad in front of the other guys. Other paw.
You know, this actually reminds me of a quote by Milton.
Shut the up. Can you not? I just took a bunch of random stuff I found in my medicine cabinet, and you're really freaking me out right now.
If we're gonna kill him, we gotta find some guns.
Let's go.
Not all of us. Somebody's gotta go over there and keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't go anywhere.
Why me?
Because I'm your owner, and I said so.
What is that?
I thought it was a dog whistle, but now I'm thinking it's something you jam in your urethra to make you last longer.
In Life of Brian, Brian gets hit by a car and literally dies. Quagmire actually shows up at Brian's funeral. However, it's very clear that he does not give a fuck.
Damn it, Ortiz. Stop swinging at junk.
In Brian the Closer, after Brian loses his teeth thanks to Peter, Quagmire steps in, surprisingly, to help him out by giving him his dentist's number and even covering the bill.
Hey, listen, thanks for not laying into me like everybody else.
I don't care enough about you to lay into you. Your face looks like a used condom. Don't cry. Be a man. Here, just take this. That's my dentist. He'll bill me. I've got an account. He sells me nitrous at wholesale. I bang his wife.
Those both sound like things for you.
Look, you want his number or not?
I won't forget this, Glenn Quagmire.
And don't tell anybody about this. Now get the hell out of the bar, you pathetic son of a bitch.
Brian's new flashy smile changes everything. He becomes a hotshot realtor and a hit with the ladies. But as usual, he takes things too far and tricks Quagmire, the person who helped put him in this position.
You're doing great here. You're really on fire. The only thing is, anyone can sell a nice house, but a real star is someone who can sell a dump. Well, we got this crap condo down by the marina. We haven't been able to unload it in 2 years. You find some sucker to buy it, and I'll make you partner.
God, there's gotta be a sucker to buy this condo.
I just hit 20 years in the air, and I got a big bonus. For the first time in my life, I got money to burn.
Looks like I found my sucker. I'm glad I bumped into you because I've been meaning to give you something.
What's this?
That is the money you loaned me.
That's pretty cool. Thanks.
I just wish I could do something more for you. I could make you rich. No, that's just money.
What are you talking about, Brian?
The one thing they're pretty firm about at the office is you don't take the inside deals and give them to your friends. All I can say is, underpriced waterfront property that's guaranteed to appreciate in value. Oh, wait, are you bothered by sorority noise, though?
I don't know if I'm a real estate investor.
All right, guys, here it is. Prescott Towers.
Nestled somewhere between the ocean and your imagination. Come live in the kind of place a Persian guy would say is a little much.
The ceiling is a pool. The ceiling is a pool. Quagmire, you gotta get this.
I don't know about buying a place without seeing it first.
Of course not. I wouldn't expect you to. I wanted to let you know early because there's another buyer who's about to snap it up. I think he's a pilot for Delta.
Delta? That son of a bitch! Okay, I'll take it.
All right, you won't be sorry.
When Quagmire finds out he's been duped, he tracks Brian down at a motel where Brian's hiding to outlast an escape clause.
Ah, hey there, buddy. There you are. I've been looking all over for you.
That's why you've been hiding from me in this motel? Give me my money back. You are such a scumbag. When you were poor, you were always a douche. But now, screwing over the people who helped you? I don't know how you sleep at night.
My God, you're right. I'm a selfish and pretentious jerk. And you're the only guy in town who's ever called me out on my crap. I used to hate you for it, but now I think you're the only person who was trying to be my friend. Even though I know you never liked me, you still helped me when I really needed it. I'm ashamed of myself. You're honest and direct and compassionate. And that is 72 hours. Enjoy your crap hole, dumbass.
You son of a bitch!
Wow, so I guess that's it for you in real estate.
In Quagmire's mom, Quagmire gets arrested for hooking up with an underage girl. Brian shows up at the trial, but it's clear he doesn't really care.
I can't believe Quagmire and that girl had sex, which is hugging someone really hard with your legs.
Nope.
Well, you'll tell me if I get it, though, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you if you get it.
Okay, I'm gonna get it. I know everyone's sitting out there judging me today, but before you do, please know I had it pretty rough growing up. Dairy Queen closes in 10 minutes.
As the episode progresses, Quagmire eventually blows up and blames his mom for his messed up life, but Brian jumps in and calls his ass out.
You've never apologized once for the way you raised me.
Oh, come on, Quagmire. You're a grown man, responsible for his own choices.
Brian abandoned his own son, by the way. Why are you, of all people, defending a religious nut?
Yeah, it's crazy. You can think about that while you're in jail.
As Quagmire eventually says his goodbyes, Brian, ever the opportunist, throws in one last comment.
Some families take their baby to the zoo. I'm really gonna miss all you guys.
And I'll think of you whenever I choke on a link sausage. Take care, buddy.
I'm scared to know why.
Fresh air! Freedom!
He put
In
it that
season
way.
14's The Heartbreak Dog, Brian really messes up by kissing Bonnie. Shit gets even worse though when Peter snitches on him. And of course, at the intervention, Quagmire is front and center.
Thanks again for doing this. Joe has been making my life hell.
What's going on? What's all this?
We think that you're taking this revenge on Brian just a little too far.
I'm not the guy who violated the sanctity of someone else's marriage.
This is Brian. We all know he don't care where he gets his wick wet. Just ask Quagmire's father.
You're out of control. Even though Brian's been trying to do my wife for years, and on some level I hate him for it.
Oh, Brian's a complete dick. We all know that. Bonnie's a weird slut who's always letting you know she's open for business.
When am I doing that?
When are you not doing that? That still breastfeeding rack. Give me some of that.
Okay, so we're all in agreement. Bonnie and Brian are terrible people.
How dare any of you criticize Bonnie? You deserve better than this. Let's get out of here.
Season 16 has some hit or miss episodes, but the D in Apartment 23 is a banger. Brian starts using Twitter, tweets something offensive, and gets canceled. And of course, Quagmire has something to say on the topic.
How come no one told me we were going to the clam? Hey, Jerome, give me a beer.
Because I'm like your slave? You're no better than your racist dog.
I told you about Brian.
Come on, he deleted his tweet.
In Crimes and Meg's demeanor, Brian gets an eyeful when he spies on the building across the street.
Okay, they're obviously home. You'd have to be dumb to try to rob that place.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
That's what's up.
I hate the guy, but he's good.
Things take an unexpected turn in Married with Cancer. When Brian marries Jess to make her last days special, Quagmire is genuinely moved to the point of tears. For the first time, he admits he can't hate Brian anymore, and even throws him an epic bachelor party as a show of gratitude.
It's a real-life Quahog version of The Fault in Our Stars.
My name is Jess. I have cancer, but cancer doesn't have me.
My name is Brian. I have a disease called love. When you learned Jess had only weeks to live, you proposed.
No one's ever loved me like Brian does.
Hey, pal, I know we've had our differences, but you're a good guy.
Thank you, Quagmire.
I want to throw you the wildest bachelor party of all time.
In Season 17's Adam West High, things kick off when Brian suggests renaming the high school after Mayor West and ends up running for mayor himself.
Now it's time for a new segment on our show called On the Same Sofa. My guest tonight is mayoral candidate Brian Griffin. Now, I understand you're running unopposed. That gives you a bit of an advantage, doesn't it? Well, Tom, I welcome a challenger. Not the one that exploded, but, that's probably gonna get me in trouble right there. Good thing I'm running unopposed.
I can't believe we're gonna have a dog for mayor. We're gonna be the laughing stock of the whole country.
Not one to miss a chance to mess with Brian, Quagmire jumps into the race just to spite him.
What's this? Well, it looks like stolen property and vandalism for starters. I'm finishing a phone interview. And that's why I would never joke about the Space Shuttle Challenger tragedy.
Can't believe I said that. Why are you running for mayor?
Out of spite.
That's not a reason to get into politics.
It's the only reason to get into politics. See you at the debate.
Fine.
It all escalates when Quagmire takes Brian for a ride in his campaign bus, throwing insults and getting under Brian's skin until it turns into a full-blown fistfight.
I'm fine standing, thank you. The only reason you're running is to make me look ridiculous.
Ha! Sit down, Snoopy.
What did you say?
I said, sit, Ubu, sit.
Son of a bitch!
He's allergic to getting hit in the head.
God, we're gonna die!
Calm down, Brian. This bus has OnStar.
OnStar roadside assistance.
Yes, our bus went over a cliff. We need help.
Is this Glenn Quagmire?
Yes, sweetheart. Hi, who's this?
It's Melissa from the Ramada Inn.
Oh, the Framingham Ramada Inn or the Cranston Ramada Inn?
Cranston.
Oh yeah, we're gonna die.
With the threat of falling to their deaths, Brian and Quagmire actually start talking like real people for a change. It's one of those weird moments where their rivalry takes a back seat, and they almost get along.
You think he's dead?
Hey, buddy. I'm gonna die with Glenn Quagmire.
Hey, dying with Glenn Quagmire was good enough for Gugardo.
What was I thinking getting on this bus with you? You have anything to eat in here?
Yeah, there's some edible underwear in that bag over there.
Ugh, isn't there anything else?
I have a ball of peanut butter with a pill inside.
Wish you hadn't told me about the pill. Quagmire, why did you even want to be mayor?
Honestly, I just want a street named after me.
Actually, that is kind of cool.
Why did you want to be mayor?
Mayor West told me he went to 65 pancake breakfasts a year. That stuck with me.
That's like pancakes every Saturday morning and probably some Sundays. Probably no chocolate chip pancakes, though.
Are you kidding me? 65 a year? You're gonna get at least 8 to 10 chocolate chip pancake events.
So pancakes is why you wanted to be mayor?
Pancakes, and look at the people in our town. Who else is gonna do it?
I know. This is such a garbage town.
We're really the only two viable candidates. You're a pilot. You're responsible for people's lives. My point is, you're a smart guy.
Thank you.
Now you say something nice about me. Like, I'm good company, and I'm smart and funny, and I'm invited to all your pool parties.
No, thank you.
That's pretty.
Hey guys, don't mind me. I'm gonna go steal that bus driver's identity.
The truce doesn't last long. Back at Quagmire's pool party, Brian shows up and decides to dive off the tiki bar, forgetting there's no pool.
Thanks for coming.
Is that a pool party I hear?
Yeah.
Cannonball! And that was the moment I remembered. Quagmire doesn't have a swimming pool.
Wow.
In Breda, Brian starts dating Quagmire's dad, Ida, again, which really sets Quagmire off.
Excuse me, ma'am. No porn at the bar.
Oh, it's okay. I'm transgender.
Oh, I had no idea. Do whatever you want all the time.
Howdy, stranger. What are you doing here? I'm an alcoholic. Oh, right. So you saw the video, huh? It's difficult to watch your son embarrass himself so publicly. As much as you want to save your kids from their mistakes, it's their mistakes that help them grow and change and become their best selves.
That's real.
Ida, should we get a room? Absolutely. Morning, sleepyhead. Some night, huh? Yeah, it really was. What are you doing Friday night? I'm free. Does that mean you're asking me out? It does. Not ashamed to be with me? I don't care anymore.
Glenn, Ida, it's so nice that you could both come over for dinner. So, Brian, what's new in your world?
Actually, I have some news that happens to pertain to my dating life.
Do tell us.
Ida and I have begun dating.
You're joking, right?
Brian and I are in love. So glad you dropped in. Brian is cooking breakfast. Get ready for eggs a la Brian. Scrambled eggs with a side of toast.
What? How was that a la Brian? That's great.
You know, Glenn, Brian thought you two could hang out this afternoon, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. All right.
Well, great. Oh, the ketchup's hot. Everyone goes cold, I go hot.
Hot
and
ketchup?
That's the Allah.
He eventually gives his mother an ultimatum. It's either him or Brian. They try to patch things up, including a painful museum outing that turns the shit fast.
I don't want to be here.
If I'm going to be dating your mom, it's important that we spend some time together. We have 2 guest passes from a museum member, Ida Davis.
I'm not seeing an Ida Davis.
Try Lieutenant Dan Quagmire.
And how's he doing? Still have his penis?
No, he doesn't. And that's a weird question to ask.
I'm a weird guy. I work at a museum.
It's not so bad. It's like night at the museum in here.
How?
The guys are going to come to life.
You didn't see the movie, did you?
No.
By watching Night at the Museum with Ida.
Why is his mom/dad dressed like Megan Thee Stallion out this mug? I've seen her in concert a couple times. You should go see it. Good stuff.
Leaving Brian to lick his wounds after another failed romance.
Anymore. It's either him or me.
I choose Brian.
Yes.
To talk to first. I've loved every minute that we've spent together. I have to put my son first. I've made my decision.
You're history, and this time, history's not coming back to life. Night at the museum.
In No Giggity, No Doubt, Brian tries his usual smooth talk to get Courtney's number, only to get shot down when she says her dad has to approve first. Before Brian can even process the embarrassment, a certain someone pops up.
I'm glad you guys could finally come over for dinner.
Thanks for having us. Now, Courtney, I'd like to awkwardly introduce you to someone your own age. Courtney, this is Megan.
Yo, Courtney, what's your Instagram? I just got on there and need some interesting peeps to follow.
Oh, you'll have to ask my dad. He approves all my follow requests.
Denied!
Quahog gets even weirder when Quagmire decides to open a cat cafe in Season 18's Cat Fight, right next to Brian's favorite bar. Brian's not thrilled and sets out to get it shut down, eventually succeeding, but at a cost.
Local resident Brian Griffin has described the cafe as a threat to public health.
I brought everything we need. What are you even wearing?
Oh, this is what Princess Diana wore to protest landmines.
I don't know if it
Brian,
is.
I'm glad you're here. Based on the various
That
public
doesn't look
health
like anything
concerns you
Diana
raised, the city has
Sawyer
decided to
would
shut
wear.
this establishment down.
You're closing the cafe?
That's right. Thanks to you, I'm out of business. I certainly hope you're happy. Oh, nice top, Stewie.
Come on, lock it up. Until the Board of Health gives the okay, you're done.
Quagmire's left dealing with a house full of cats, but shit really hits the fan when Brian comes back and finds Quagmire doing something fucked up.
You son of a bitch! This is all your fault!
What the?
Ha
Oh, there it is.
Now time to make my getaway.
Oh my God.
Surprisingly, Quagmire rushes to help Brian, and they share another rare moment of understanding. To show some goodwill, Brian puts on his emotional support vest, and they take a walk, putting their rivalry on pause.
Oh my God, are you all right? Here, let me mend you like in a 1990s action movie.
What are we doing?
I don't even know anymore.
I'm sorry I destroyed your dream, Quagmire.
Thanks, Brian.
Why did you open that place anyway?
I just thought that maybe I could put something good in the world for a change. I've always been about sex and seducing women, but someday I'm gonna be dead. Is that my legacy?
Quagmire, I'm here for you, for emotional support.
Thanks, Brian. Wanna go for a walk?
I always want to go for a walk.
In Fecal Matters, Brian discovers he's 1% cat from a DNA test and immediately starts acting like it, much to everyone's annoyance. Quagmire, not missing a chance to mess with Brian, gives him a little challenge.
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
Hey, Quagmire, I found out I'm a cat.
You're not a cat, Brian. If you're really a cat, prove it by jumping off your roof.
Done.
Oh!
Not a cat.
In Family Cat, when Meg decides to adopt a cat named Pouncy, Quagmire can't resist throwing a passive jab at Brian, calling him a hazard that needs to go.
Hello, Christopher. May I come in?
What's going on, Quagmire?
Before families can officially adopt a cat, someone needs to make sure the animal is being placed in a loving and safe environment. May I see the cat? Hi, you. Oh, such a sweetheart. Oh, you. Now I'm gonna walk through the house and make sure everything's cat-friendly. Okay, this is a problem right here, kind of in this whole area. Lastly, catnip is a Class B narcotic. It is a drug.
Yeah, we don't keep any of that stuff around.
Adoption approved.
But when Meg falls under Pouncy's strange influence, Brian and Quagmire surprisingly team up to save her. The teamwork is a little rocky, though.
I heard everything you were saying about Pouncy, Brian. And you were right to be concerned.
Wait, how did you hear everything I said?
I put a cat cam in your house. It was a repurposed shower cam. Sometimes cats do have ulterior motives. Sometimes, when they find the right person, they enslave them to do their bidding for the rest of their lives.
So what you're saying is that everyone who likes cats only likes them because they literally have crap in their brain?
That's correct.
And people who like dogs just like them because they're chill as hell?
That's correct. Go quick. Once she puts on the fuzzy sweater, It's too late.
What the hell is a fuzzy
Let
sweater?
her go!
Years of ridicule and neglect have brought me here.
Midnight. Not a sound from the pavement. Meg, you have your whole life ahead of you. Cats are amazing, and you're too young to give it all up for them. I should be the cat lady. Give me the sweater.
Quagmire, no!
It's okay, Brian. I'm already gone. Look, a new day has begun.
In Must Love Dogs, Quagmire tries dating a woman who's absolutely obsessed with dogs. So naturally, he ropes his best friend Brian into posing as his pet. Brian, after a good laugh, agrees for the price of 6 tennis balls. But Brian isn't doing it to help. He's just waiting for Quagmire to crash and burn.
Sorry we couldn't get you a dog. Come on in. We'll have however many beers it takes to forget how depressing the shelter was.
Oh, hey, Quagmire.
There he is, Brian the dog. I'm seeing this woman, and there's something different about her. I mean, it's not just that the sex is great, which it is, but I appreciate her as a person. Anyway, I told her I have a dog, so would you pretend to be my dog? Come on, I'm serious. Will you help me out?
There are not enough tennis balls in the world for me to...
I have 6. This is Spot. Carrie's gonna be here soon. Can you give me a hand getting this cat stuff out of here?
Where is your cat, anyway?
No cat owner knows where their cat is. Okay, she's here. Get off the couch. Who is it?
It's the Purge. We're here to beat you up.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
One pizza with alternative crust.
Oh, yummy, yummy. Hey, you want to know the truth, Brian? Brian the dog? I love her. You hear me? Love.
This is priceless.
When Quagmire is tricked into proposing to his dog-loving girlfriend, Brian pushes it further by playing along, only for the engagement to spiral out of control when she moves in with her herd of rescue dogs.
There he is, the bridegroom-to-be.
Hi, honey. We're home.
Dexter eats all this?
Not just Dexter, but Dexter and all his rescue brothers and sisters.
Is that one just a back half?
Oh, backseat? Yeah.
I'm just thrilled you're getting all the happiness you deserve.
I am happy.
Hey, babe. Was the Princess Diana plate important?
Brian, can you hand me that parade magazine, that envelope, that stamp, and that checkbook? Thank you.
For your life.
Hey, if you're making coffee, I'll have, whoa, kind of a mess in here.
Damn it, Brian, did you leave the doggy gate open?
Ah, the 7-hour itch.
Shut up, Brian. Why don't you go for a walk? No walk, no walk.
I want to make a stir fry tonight. Have we unpacked the wok?
No, W-O-K. W-O-K. She said walk. She said walk.
Quagmire finally snaps, admits he hates dogs, and ends the relationship, but he makes sure to give Brian a little bit of payback.
Well.
Dogs are the worst, and I'm coming for you, Brian the dog. And when that day comes, you're gonna say, "Oh, Glenn got me good. I need to take a walk."
Brack?
Oh, no. Hey, Brian, I was just over talking to Quagmire, and he thought you might want to take a look at my new screenplay. It's called Ocean's 1. Between you and me, I can't believe nobody's done it before.
Yeah, I could, take a look, sure.
I have my all is lost moment on page 389. Quagmire! What happened?
The latest Quagmire and Brian interaction is in the season 21 episode, The Steway. Stewie sneaks into Quagmire's suitcase and finds himself in Paris. However, he literally loses him on the subway. With nowhere else to turn, he calls a certain someone.
I'm totally screwed. Wait, I can't call Peter. He'll kill me.
Got him. What is up?
I lost Stewie in Paris.
What?
Brian, you're the last guy I want to call, but you know Stewie better than anyone. I'll fly you to Paris.
First class and no male flight attendants in my area. Also, I want a special Kibbles and Bits meal.
Fine.
Only Quagmire, I want just the bits.
The moral of this video is don't do things that'll get you put in jail. Oh, because trust and believe, they'll find you.
These are 10 episodes where Peter Griffin deserved to go to jail. Starting at number 10 with an episode titled April in Quahog. We open the episode with Trisha Takanawa interviewing, and I quote, the only white guy who knows math better than her, Stephen Hawking. They discuss a recently discovered black hole at the edge of the solar system before the scientist gives up his act, ditches the chair, and goes surfing. And we're off to the races. While the super important scientific discovery is being discussed, Peter comes home with an equally super important announcement.
I have been selected. For what? Oh, nothing too important, just jury duty.
That's not good.
Wow.
I don't like jury duty.
When the family tells him he's not special since anyone can be selected, shocking, he tries to get out of his duty by using the surf and bird tactic. This doesn't get him kicked out, which is actually shocking as it's the most infuriating running gag this show has, so he's forced to sit through the trial. He gets home and immediately starts complaining about his day, but a news report about the black hole's expansion interrupts him.
Which means that all life on Earth will be destroyed within 24 hours.
The news rocks the residents of Quahog, so much so that everyone rushes to act out their final wishes. Some wishes are more disturbing than others, and some are unsurprisingly wholesome. Lois wants nothing more than for her family to spend their last day together, but Peter has his priorities elsewhere. Going to the zoo with a shotgun and stealing a lion. I mean, I can't lie, the lion is pretty cool. The next activity of Peter's final wishes is using a musket to save a Native American family from cavalrymen. You know, the usual bucket list activities. After failing at that, he makes his last dying wish come true.
I'm gonna find the black neighborhood and see what happens if I yell the you-know-what word.
That is so inappropriate and offensive, and I think
they respected me for saying it.
Oh, that is not where I saw that one going. But the time finally comes for the final minutes of Earth's existence, and Peter is only just returning home. Lois tears into Peter for having spent all day away from his family, and when she asks him why he doesn't love her, he reveals the truth about why he disappeared for the day.
I just hate being around the kids.
It's a bad enough confession as it is, but it's only made worse when Tom and Diane announced that the whole report was an April Fool's prank. So this isn't awkward at all. Peter doesn't even try to backtrack. He just digs his grave even deeper by explaining why he doesn't enjoy being around the kids. Rightly so, they give him the cold shoulder the next morning when he tries to buddy up to them. Realizing that it's not going to be an easy job to win back their love, Peter brings out the big guns. He attempts to bond with Meg over her period. Just usual girl talk, I suppose? When that doesn't work, he goes to Chris with a story about his uncle, a bag of crystal meth, and an idea for a good time.
You sure that stuff is okay?
All I know is the guys who made it are dead.
Thankfully, Chris has his head screwed on straight and doesn't join his dad in that activity. But Peter is no closer to winning back his kids when he does the same thing in front of Stewie. He eventually caves and does what all parents do when they try to make up for a mistake, buys them a gift. But at the very least, he could have let them be the ones to play on the Xbox, given everything he put them through this episode.
Now which one do I press to shoot now? Damn it. Ah, crap.
Just go back to the kitchen, Peter. Number 9 on the list is Papa Has a Rollin' Son, an episode where Peter's daddy issues almost ruin everything for Joe. With Father's Day coming up, Peter and the guys discuss the fact that none of them have met Joe's dad yet in 14 seasons. But there's a good reason for that. Joe and his dad are estranged and haven't spoken for years. Without asking any more questions, Peter contacts Joe's dad and invites him into town for the holiday. It's a nice gesture, but a huge mistake.
Ever since I was a little kid, he was constantly making fun of handicapped people.
Even worse, Joe's dad doesn't even know his son's handicapped for this very reason. This is gonna be one hell of a family reunion. Since it's too late to cancel the visit, the guys try to find a way to hide Joe's disability. Their ideas are terrible, to say the least. Tying Joe to a wild horse doesn't work, so they settle on a simpler plan. Get Peter and Joe to switch places for his dad's visit.
I barely recognize you. Put on a little weight, haven't you?
Oh, he's one of those dads. Bud and Peter get on like a house on fire, bonding while on patrol together before coming home to see Joe's Peter struggling to get in the car. The insults from Bud were to be expected given what Joe told us about his dad, but what I didn't see coming was Peter joining in on the insults, even towards his own kids. Okay, that part I expected. Peter eventually makes his way over to his real home to tell everyone that their plan has worked. Only it's worked a little too well. Peter has offered to let Bud move in with him and Bonnie. Now, to give some context to his decision-making, Peter's got daddy issues. Granted, his daddy issues stem from having literally killed his own dad, but they're there nonetheless. He's going ahead with stealing Joe's dad. Everyone tells him how stupid his plan is, but that only leads Peter to twist the knife he stabbed into Joe's back even more.
You can't just take my dad!
Well, he's right next door. Nothing's stopping you from going over there and telling him the truth.
Peter's seen firsthand how horrible Joe's dad is towards handicapped people, so it's a low blow from the Griffin man. But it's full steam ahead for Peter as he makes the most of finally having a father figure in his life. He convinces Bud to go and play catch with him in the yard, like the grown man he is, but they're stopped by a struggling Joe trying to take out the trash. Bud tells Peter to go and tell Joe to go inside since watching is making him depressed, and Peter follows his request. Joe finally reaches boiling point when Peter refers to Bud as his own dad, multiple times, I may add, and ends up in a heated brawl with his friend. One's a cop and the other is an overweight man in a corset. I know who my money's on in this fight. When Bud calls out his son for getting beat up by a guy in a wheelchair, Joe finally comes clean that he's actually his son. Like Clark Kent in any Superman movie ever, Joe takes off his glasses and suddenly becomes recognizable to his dad. Surprise! Bud comes clean about being ableist out of fear of it happening to himself. Not a good enough excuse if you ask me. But the two have a heart-to-heart and agree to work on rebuilding their relationship. All it took was Joe's supposed best friend to steal his dad, hurl insults at him about his disability, and voila! Dad and son are back together.
I love you, son.
I love you too, Dad.
For God's sake, Peter, not now! Taking the number 8 spot on the list is an episode titled Family Gay, an episode that I'm going to spoil none of with a title that good. Peter is given the simple task of grocery shopping, something he fails at miserably given he returns home after 6 hours with no beans but instead a brain-damaged horse. From smashing itself into the wall to peeing on the carpet, he already makes a better pet than Brian. Too harsh on the dog? So the Griffins are stuck rooming with a horse that sucks heads. Stewie's head. Jeez, guys, get your heads out of the gutter. But anyway, since the horse has nothing going on upstairs, there's nothing he can do. Well, Peter does find one thing for it to do.
Some of the milk in the fridge is not milk, it's horse sperm.
I'm gonna give you a few seconds to really think hard about how Peter managed to get that milk from the horse, and there it is, it's just clicked. If that thought wasn't traumatic enough, Stewie makes it worse by consciously eating his cereal with the horse's special milk, knowing exactly what it is. If there was any remaining doubt about his sexuality, I think it's just been erased. So Peter tries to get a more mainstream use out of the horse by entering it in a race, but given it's brain damaged, it runs into the crowd and causes $100,000 worth of damages. Better yet, the horse suffered a fatal heart attack after the crash, leaving Peter with crushing debt and a dead horse. But he has a quick solution for that. I feel like I should contact PETA for this. To make money to repay the damages, Peter signs up to become a test subject for medical science and gets injected with a gay gene. And the results are hilarious. Hilarious to me, but not so much to Lois, who struggles to come to terms with now having a gay husband. But she starts coming to terms with his new sexuality when he begins displaying stereotypical behaviors.
I think I'm jealous if Miss eats anything she wants and still fits into a size 4. Oh, I could scratch your eyes out. Meow!
go?
The compliments, shopping, and baked goods are great and all until Peter rejects her sexual advances. With no way to reverse the effects of the gay gene, Lois is left with a gay husband. Or she would have been had Peter not run off with his soulmate, Scott. Just a quick reminder, this is all happening in the same episode. Animal abuse, destroying Mort's pharmacy, leaving his wife. It's a 3-for-1. Seeing how depressed Lois is, Brian and Stewie try to fix the problem by kidnapping Peter and sending him to a straight camp that specializes in conversion therapy. We are all gonna have our opinions on this, but I think it's pretty safe to say there's not one character that comes out looking good in this episode. When Scott comes looking for Peter, Brian fesses up to what he did, and Lois decides to pull Peter out of the camp and let him live his life however he wants. Is this the first selfless thing I've seen Lois do? So Peter returns to his new homosexual life where Scott has organized a welcome home gift of an 11-way for him. I don't have a joke for that. In a case of the worst timing ever, the gay gene wears off in the middle of all the action.
Holy crap!
I guess you could say that Peter finished early.
It's pretty difficult to put into words how disgusted I am, how depressed I am.
Yeah, I'm not proud of that one either. Peter returns home and vows to never speak about the events again, but there's just enough time for one final moment of karma. American Gigolo is number 7 on the list as the episode gives us Quagmire in a role he was truly born for. After a long day of being on the picket line with his fellow pilots, Quagmire stops at a bar before heading home. He interrupts a bachelorette party where he's mistaken for the stripper, a fair misunderstanding given what he's wearing and the fact that he's Quagmire. He goes to correct them, but as the women make it rain, he sees no harm in giving in to the act. Fast forward to the guys' next night at the Clam, and Quagmire leaves early. That's worrying enough that Peter and the guys trail him all the way to the hangout and discover that Quagmire is working in a strip club.
I am in the full upright and locked position.
Quagmire's doing what he does best and looking good while he does it. Editor, don't put a sus meme over that, okay? Don't make it weird. Damn it. Okay, moving on. Quagmire admits he's become less of an exotic dancer and more of a gigolo, getting paid crazy amounts for you-know-what. Later in the episode, Peter picks up Quagmire after he gets stiffed by a client who refuses to pay him. Not willing to let his friend be taken advantage of, he goes back in to annoy the woman into giving him the money she owes. Just remember that I said he doesn't want to let his friend be taken advantage of. It's going to come up later. Quagmire gives him a cut of the money for his help and asks Peter if he wants to join him on more of his jobs. He basically asks Peter to be his pimp. It's fun at first until Peter starts overbooking him, leaving Quagmire exhausted. Now this is where my whole hypocritical taking advantage of Quagmire point comes into play.
You tripping, boy? You're going out if I tell you you're going out, bitch!
Jesus, Peter, one Steve Harvey suit later and you're acting like this? Peter fully abuses the power he has in his new position, insulting, hitting, and overworking Quagmire. When Quagmire of all people starts complaining about sexual activities, then you know you've gone way too far. Peter even forces Quagmire to work for his food. It's a textbook abusive relationship. The absolute worst customer that Peter forces him to work for starts asking Quagmire to do weird German things. Am I meant to know what that is? Give me one quick second while I Google that. Oh my god, no! Don't Google it! Maybe I should have put this higher on the list. Thankfully, Peter steps in before any of those things can go ahead and scar Quagmire for life. They still suffer a little trauma though, but it's nowhere near as bad as the original ask. Peter does see the error in his ways and apologizes for getting caught up in the money aspect of it all. Since he's more forgiving than I would have ever been, Quagmire lets Peter off the hook and agrees to go back to being friends with the hopes of the pilot strike ending soon so he can get his job back.
Oh, the strike ended a month ago.
Peter! God, I feel like I'm telling off a kid. As expected, Quagmire yells at him for letting him spend a month as a gigolo and not telling him, but Peter assures him he did. The Griffin man isn't lying, he did email Quagmire, just the wrong one.
Are you still GlennQ10@AOL.com?
No.
Ah, well, there you go.
Would telling him in person really have been that hard, Peter? Taking the number 6 spot is an episode I have to be extremely careful in how I pronounce. P-tarded. It's game night at the Griffin home, and Lois is set on letting her husband win their game of Trivial Pursuit by giving him the kids' questions. She clearly underestimates how dumb he is as he struggles through those questions, but he eventually wins after Lois asks him to say the word what. Yes, that was the actual game-winning question. Peter is insufferable after his win, boasting and bragging at all opportunities. Sick of hearing it, Brian challenges him to apply for the MacArthur Genius Grant where he could be rewarded for his so-called intelligence. So he takes the test needed to apply and gets his results back. They aren't what he wanted, but they're what we all expected.
According to this, you're not a genius. In fact,
you're mentally retarded.
Peter doesn't take the news well at first, what with being treated like a kid now more than ever, but he finds an upside when he almost kills Tom Tucker, losing focus on the road. The news anchor is ready to lay into him until he realizes that it's Peter, the mentally incapacitated guy who ran him over. Talk about a get-out-of-jail-free card. Peter starts abusing his newfound power and gets away with everything from starting Bible fights to busting into women's toilet stalls. But arguably the worst of all is what he does to Lois as he tries to steal a deep fryer from the fast food restaurant. Not only does his actions leave Lois with severe burns, but they also lead to Child Protective Services taking the kids away since he's not mentally fit enough to be a parent. Luckily for him, Cleveland offers to take in the kids while he works out what to do, but he doesn't exactly get off to a promising start.
Oh God, hang on.
This is the man who has to win custody of 3 kids. Sure, he's got this. Brian, being the only sane one left in the Griffin family, tells Peter that he just has to show CPS that he's a good parent, but Peter takes this to mean that he has to show how bad of a parent Cleveland is. Struggling to see the logic of that one.
Yeah.
So to do this, he invites a group of prostitutes into Cleveland's home, while Stewie is with him, and calls the CPS agent to investigate the situation. Like a reasonable adult, Agent Jessup sees through the ruse and continues to take Peter to trial. His case is pretty strong, given that Peter gave him plenty of examples of his bad parenting, but Peter's is even stronger. Introducing the ghost who never lies.
Well, would you kindly point him or them out for this court? Don't point at me, you jackass!
Wow. Just wow, Peter. I have nothing to say to that. After incriminating himself in the funniest way possible, Peter makes a heartfelt plea to the judge and narrowly escapes prison time, but he still doesn't get his kids back. But hey, it's all okay because Lois fully heals and brings home the kids, as well as the smell of grease.
Oh, I love you so much, delicious French fry wife.
So no consequences for Peter for nearly killing Tom Tucker, his wife, invading women's bathrooms, framing his best friend, or, just anything he did in this episode. Nah, why would there be? Halfway marker now, and the Tan Aquatic with Steve Zizzo is the episode at the number 5 spot. Look, before I get into Peter's part in this episode, I have to talk about the main plot, which is Stewie becoming addicted to tanning after getting a sunburn while out with Peter. That's basically the whole plot, but it's too good not to include. Anyway, here's a clip of Stewie after Brian falls asleep and leaves him in a tanning bed for too long.
I've been in there for 6.5 hours, you son of a bitch! Don't touch me!
Okay, now on to the man of the 30 minutes that this video lasts. Herbert has a new paperboy and he's somewhat of a bully. He calls Chris a nerd, Herbert old, and rides off with having stolen all of Chris's customers. Chris tries his hardest to win back Herbert's love, but Kyle is already there with more insults and a beatdown. After seeing Chris come home with blood running out of his nose, Peter tells Kyle's parents what their son did and goes to talk to the bully. Like father, like son, Peter ends up the victim of Kyle's teasing and overall crappy attitude and retaliates by beating the hell out of him. Peter Griffin takes no prisoners, even when they're 13-year-old boys, apparently. Peter leaves Kyle bruised and bleeding and runs home where he tries to play the entire situation off, but when Lois gets a call from Kyle's parents telling her what he did, he hides in a tree.
He called me names!
You're 43 and you just assaulted our neighbor's child.
As she often has to do, Lois acts as Peter's parent and drags him around to apologize to Kyle, whose mom agreed to not press charges if he did so. Kyle and Peter patch things up by bonding over Legos, as well as having a deep conversation about what makes bullying so fun. Kyle's words encourage Peter to continue bullying people to feel good about himself. Not sure why we're taking advice from someone who beat up your own kid, but you do you, Peter. So Peter starts to bully and at times abuse Lois, Stewie, Meg, and worst of all, Joe, who he ties up and uses like a puppet, not degrading in the slightest. Seeing how Peter has been acting, Lois tells her husband that he's no better than his own childhood bully, Randy Fulcher. This snaps Peter out of his act and convinces him to no longer bully the people he cares about.
I should be bullying Randy Fulcher.
No, you were so close to getting it, Peter. So Peter brings Chris along to teach him how to stand up to bullies by standing up to his own. Coming face to face with Randy Fulcher, Peter sees that he's getting around with crutches. Not that that stops him from threatening him. Randy tells him that he can't fight because he has MS.
You hear that, Chris? This guy's got a monkey scrotum and he's bragging about it.
I'm not saying anything. Peter goes in for the hit, but Chris stops him and teaches Peter a lesson that violence isn't always the answer. By beating him up. Punching teenagers, abusing your family, bullying disabled people. What didn't this episode have? Going into the number 4 spot with an episode titled A Shot in the Dark. Peter and the guys start up a community watch when they realize their neighborhood isn't as safe as they thought after the couch they left in the garden gets stolen. Because this is America, Peter manages to get them guns within 10 seconds. So not only are they not trained, but now they're armed too. What could possibly go wrong? While on his first night watch, Peter sees a shadowed figure trying to get into Cleveland's house. He asks him to step away multiple times, but when the figure doesn't, he fires a shot.
Cleveland Jr.?
Mr. Griffin, you shot me!
Oh, this is a touchy subject. Peter goes to the hospital to apologize to the Brown family. That's their surname, stop it. But tensions only rise when Joe explains that the police force has deemed the shooting an accident. This is sounding a little too close to the truth to be funny. Outraged by the decision, Cleveland goes on to TV to call Peter's actions a hate crime, making him and the family the most hated people in Quahog. He makes attempts to prove that he's not a racist by playing basketball at the YMCA, painting himself brown to prove he's in touch with African American culture, and worst of all, sharing a drink and cigar with Cleveland that ends up causing a house fire thanks to Peter's clumsiness.
Get your family out of that house! If they don't leave, they'll die!
So, without the context, you have to admit this doesn't exactly look good. Given all the events that have transpired, Joe places Peter under arrest for attempted murder when public outrage forces his hand. Carter offers to help bail Peter out of jail, but Cleveland Jr.'s testimony makes it a hard case to fight. Carter's lawyer tears down Cleveland Jr. for listening to Jay-Z, which apparently makes him a thug. He even goes as far as comparing him to Chris Brown because they share the same last name, and implies that the young boy would beat up Rihanna just like the rapper did. If I said this was a fair trial, I'd be lying to you all. Peter walks away free and Cleveland calls an end to their friendship. Probably fair, considering Cleveland and his family are now the most hated people in Quahog. Seeing the hatred that people are throwing at Cleveland Jr. appeals to the good in Peter, who goes to make things right by admitting he did shoot his best friend's son.
I just got scared and I did something stupid. I swear, it had nothing to do with the color of his skin.
Hearing how sincere Peter is, Cleveland realizes he really did shoot him by accident. So he steps forward and takes the blame for Peter to keep his friend from getting arrested. He lies and says he was the one who shot his own son, which should be the most shocking revelation of all time, but instead all of the news channels leave the scene.
You want to make the media go away? Just mention black-on-black crime.
There it is. That's your headline. The two friends make amends while taking a slow, hands clasped behind the back walk to discuss racism and the consequences of Peter's actions. His dad may have forgiven Peter, but Cleveland Jr. hasn't, as he tells Peter to watch his back.
I'm just kidding. Or am I? You're gonna wonder about that, you fat bitch.
Sleep with one eye open, Peter. Number 3 has us moving on to a truly bizarre expansion of Peter and Chris's father-son relationship in an episode titled Fresh Air. The episode starts with Chris trying to spend time with Peter, who makes it very clear where his interests lie.
Are you a television set or the internet?
No.
Oh, then no. No, thank you.
Chris makes multiple attempts to bond with his father, while Peter straight up lies to Chris about hanging out to avoid him, like agreeing to a fishing trip only to say,
Chris, I was just lying to you so you'd go away.
Ignoring his loved ones is and has always been Peter Griffin's MO, as cutaways show him also neglecting Lois's new haircut, then berating a neglected hairless twin he keeps in the shed. He's a beacon of family values, this one. Well, if Peter doesn't want to spend time with Chris, maybe his wealthy grandfather, Carter Pewterschmidt, will be more receptive. So a bedridden Carter spends his time bonding with his grandson over things like tracking racing pizza delivery drivers, creating their own garage band, and even learning a thing or two from Chris about certain pleasurable activities that I can't say or YouTube will ban me.
Let me show you something.
That was amazing!
Amazing and quick, apparently. Carter eventually heals up and tries to offer Chris some money for his troubles, but he turns the offer down. This impresses Carter so much that he names Chris the sole heir to his fortune, and if you think Peter is going to take this news well, then congrats on watching your first Family Guy episode. You've got a lot to learn. Wanting to get an in on that sweet Pewterschmidt money, Peter tries to suck up to Chris by dressing as him, watching a movie, and beheading Chris's school bully. Only that's not actually the bully, it's the deaf kid at school.
Oh, that was sign language. I thought he was trying to defend himself with terrible karate.
Whoops. When all that fails, Peter gets the bright idea to take their relationship to the next level. He proposes to Chris, stating that a man can marry any other man in Vermont. A quick Google search shows this isn't actually the case, but hey, who am I to find logic in a show where Meg takes baths with her brother and green whales beg for guns and books? Chris sees through Peter's intentions, but agrees anyway in order to finally get that happy, legally binding relationship he's always wanted with his father. One questionable divorce from Lois later, and these soon-to-be newlyweds head off to Vermont. The wedding almost goes off without a hitch, but Lois and the rest of the family come to break it up. Even when faced with the sheer idiocracy of the idea, Peter remains firm in his decisions. Peter finally realizes the error of his ways when Chris admits to having known his dad's intentions before agreeing to marry him, just so that he can spend some time with him.
And I guess I learned it's wrong to take your son to Vermont under false pretenses to try to marry him for his inheritance.
This episode is a clear example of Peter's selfishness and disregard for the happiness of his family. At least Peter isn't a real person like Woody Allen, who actually did marry his child. Have fun Googling that. Lottery Fever is taking the number 2 spot, with Peter's greed and stupidity almost pushing this to take the title. 20 seconds into the episode, not even past the intro music, and Peter's already messed up. One of the dancers is pregnant, and wouldn't you know it, It's Peter's. Does he do the right thing? Well, if he did, it wouldn't be on this list. He lies about her stealing from the show and has her removed before continuing on like nothing happened. So we get into the episode and Peter asks Lois for a loan for his latest dream, to open a sushi restaurant purely so he can yell at customers as they walk through the door. Not that she would have given him the money for that anyway, Lois tells her they can't afford it as they're low on cash and need to watch their budget. As this is going on, Tom Tucker is revealing that the latest state lottery jackpot sits at $150 million. Give me jackpot noises, give me dollar signs, make it rain! They may be on a budget, but Peter goes ahead and buys thousands of lottery tickets. Mind you, he had to take out a second mortgage on the house to do this. When Peter reveals the real lottery tickets, since he bought thousands as a test, Brian pulls one out that has all the winning numbers on it.
Yes, we won the lottery! I'm getting a piss butler.
That's what I would have gotten. Just kidding. Okay, whatever. I would have gotten one. Everyone starts listing off things they want with their newfound wealth, but Lois tries to rein them in and make sure the money doesn't get to their heads. It's too late for Peter, though, who's already bought a room full of gold coins to dive into like Scrooge McDuck, quit his job, and started buying rounds for everyone in the clam. But he does do some good with his money, too. He helps Quagmire out with a loan for an investment, and he gives Joe some money to buy Bonnie a nice gift. It's a short act of kindness, though, as the guys try to leave early, and he guilts them into staying since he gave them money. Oh, yep, I see where this is going. As is becoming a running theme in this video, Peter starts to take advantage of his friends. He forces them to pre-watch shows for him to get him to the good parts and eat the worst parts of his food. But the worst of all is when he forces them to do a synchronized dance for him while he shoots them with a BB gun.
Hey, Joe, open your eye. Gotcha.
You know, Peter, most people who win money just want a new car or house, not free reign to shoot their friends in the eyes. As they should, Quagmire and Joe walk away from Peter and his money, but not before Peter can get a shot in on Quagmire too. When Peter comes home with a golden tuxedo, Lois calls the family out for losing touch with reality, but she caves as soon as Peter gives her a diamond ring. That's why they're made for each other. While they're out for dinner, the family finds out that they've already blown through all their winnings. Back to being broke within a month, Peter walks into the clam with his tail between his legs and an apology to his friends. It's not a quick forgive and forget, as Joe tells Peter he now has a glass eye because they couldn't fix the one Peter shot. But as per usual, everyone lets Peter off the hook, with Quagmire even offering him money to get back on his feet. Just once, I'd like to see some real consequences to this guy's actions.
Plus, we learned something, and you can't put a price on that.
Look, Lois, we all know what happened. We're all depressed.
Yeah, so maybe money doesn't solve all your problems, but it sure is nice to have. And here we are, the #1 spot, which of course had to go to Brian Griffin's House of Pain. Peter's part in this episode isn't even the main plot, but it's so unbelievably bad that it's winning this list anyway. After being rammed in the head with a toy spaceship one too many times, Peter tricks Stewie into following Rupert into the basement and locking him in there. Peter Griffin, a Parenting 101 course. While he's in the basement, Stewie discovers an old script of Brian's that's worth revising. This eventually leads to Brian getting a TV pilot with the script, but I'm not going into that. This video is about Peter, and one thing to know about me, if I don't have to talk about Brian, I'm not going to. Meanwhile, Chris is sneaking into Meg's room to read her diary. She catches him and the two end up in a fight, accidentally knocking Stewie down the stairs as a result. As a 1-year-old, that kind of fall could be fatal. Meg and Chris panic about their little brother when he passes out, but since neither of them wants to get into trouble, they put him in bed and try to cover up his injury. It's a head injury. Go to the hospital. By dinner time, Stewie is still unconscious, so Meg and Chris get inventive in how they cover up his injuries.
Boy, he must be starving.
As the episode goes on, Stewie remains unconscious, with the head wound getting grosser by the minute. Honestly, be grateful that YouTube makes me censor this wound. It is nasty. Meg and Chris try to clean out Stewie's wound, but get interrupted by Peter. What's worse than the open wound itself is the fact that Peter so casually asks how long Stewie's been knocked out. Even worse, he praises Chris for not letting Meg take Stewie to the hospital. Praises him! Since he's apparently knocked Meg and Chris out multiple times when they were babies, Peter gives Meg a list of hats to get to cover the wound up. As they all settle down to watch Brian's TV pilot, Peter brings Stewie down in an even less believable disguise. And yet, it works. Even after watching Stewie fall face first to the ground and Chris knocking the baby's head on each step, no one seems to notice anything out of the ordinary. What in the Sandra Bullock Bird Box crap is this? Since they haven't treated the head wound, they take off the bandages to see that. Oh, Jesus Christ, I can't look at that. Oh God, why can't this be censored for me too? Okay, moving on. Peter is now smelling brain smell, as he calls it, which pushes Meg to the breaking point as she advocates to get her brother to the hospital. But Peter has one last plan.
Oh my God! Stewie!
No need to replay it, you really have just seen Peter throw his 1-year-old baby under a car. As though hiding a severe head injury wasn't bad enough, you really had to brutally throw him under a moving car also that you don't get blamed for anything. It's like a constant battle between Lois and Peter for the Parent of the Year award. He rushes over, showing nothing but concern, which only grows when Lois says that they should buy Stewie a hat and cover up what she's done. What is wrong with this family?
Many things, apparently. Well, it's a good thing Peter Griffin isn't Mexican. They'd have had him in jail by the 2nd episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to comment, like, and or subscribe. It's your boy BlastphamousHD. Twisms.